Not worry about till some asshole says something.
I'm going live. Hello, everybody. So once again, I just came back from vacation and I stepped into a little bit of a crisis that my content, my messages are not available to come up right now because I'm not able to get into my personal Chrome. But if you're here for the first time, this is what we do. We live stream and things get messed up and then we try to fix them. So my name is John Ryan from Coffee Talk and Tech, and I am going to work on this and see if I can get this worked out. I'm hoping that I can pull up vMix Social and just try to work this through, and hopefully this will work out and I could figure this really quick. I'm just looking for the title of... Here we go. Hold on. Let's see if this works. And this might not work. And then we'll see how it goes. Okay, it says I'm connected. Okay, good. Let's view. I might be able to pull this off anyways, guys. So, I usually have the Chrome that I use to pull up the messages in here, but now I'm going to use vMix Social to work this out, and so hopefully this will work okay. So let's take a look and see if this works. This should send out. All right. It looks like I'll get through this. Even though I hate doing it this way, I like using the method that I have, but this will work. This will work. So okay, we recovered. So let's get Jeff and bring him in here and see how he's doing. And I made it through another crisis. So let's say hi to Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
Is it okay? Is it okay for me to come in here? I'm worried.
This was not fun. So
it sounded fun from here.
How's everybody doing? So
it's a very welcoming chat. I've been in there saying hi to some peeps, and they're so nice. They are so nice.
They are nice. I'm gonna go in here now, guys. Just remember, this is not what I usually use, so it's a little bit different for me to use this because I usually use a browser extension for Chrome. But how you doing, Kim? How you doing? Thanks for stopping in.
Hey, Kim.
I'm just gonna work through and just say hello to a few people. How we doing? And oh, there's you a couple times in here too, isn't there?
I was in there I was mixing it up a little bit, saying hi to I love these people. I have to say hi to them.
Yeah. So it looks like I'll get on track finally with this, but this is not how I intended it to be. Who knows? But it's working out right now. Yeah, that's what happens when you drink too much beforehand and watch streams.
No, is it blurry? It might be blurry.
I don't know.
My glasses can't see far away. No, it looks clean here. So
I'm not blurry. I don't know about you.
I'm not
Can't worry about you.
It's all on war here. It's all on our own here. So
Hi, Dr. Elo. So
hello, Dr. Elo.
Yeah. So this was not.
That guy. He's a cutie pie.
A perfect setup with me coming in to help this all make it stress-free back from my vacation. But guys, this is what we're going to talk about. I want to
say that the vacation seems to have chilled you out a little bit.
No, because right now someone was using my Chrome, and I don't like that.
Oh, if I were you, maybe you should just push right over it and just step right through that. And yeah, it's okay, man. It's okay.
There's one thing. Did you notice that your name is straight this week?
I did. Look what you did. You made us bigger. I believe it was Ash who made a comment. Maybe it was a little small for the phones. I had to agree when I looked back on the phones, and I like this deal. And you centered my name, and so now I feel all feng shui in the house of coffee and tech. I am. I'm all a giddy. I'm all a little bit giddiness. I like it.
Well,
I like it a lot.
Here's the thing. It wasn't much smaller than how we looked on StreamYard, for that matter, because I did compare how it looked, and it wasn't far off.
I thought it was.
And now this is better, though.
This is better. It's funny. I think when I looked at it, it's just maybe it's like a web designer in me too. It's like it looked a lot more off than I gave it credit for. But look at what you did.
It's just made the live streaming.
We talked about this, that we were going to, over time, we weren't going to oversell or overperfect. We were going to take input, remember, and we're going to add these little new steps all the time and improve things. And look what you did in just a week, even with your vacation and your breakdown. Was this a vacation, or did they put you in a rehab for like a week?
This is vacation time. Okay. So we got Dr. Z.E. Lowe, or Z.V. Lowe. He does it all. I think he wants to get the new camera, and he has the ZV-1 with the Ulanzi lens on there, and so do I. So we know how that rolls, and he loves that thing, and so he uses that. And
can I just say I love your wife? I think your wife is one of the... You were so lucky to have a wife like that.
Yeah. No, it was good. It's just like, this is like the third or fourth time this has happened with this Chrome, and it just drives me nuts because...
I know, but look at that comment she comes in here, she fouls up, she doesn't, she just goes after. I like it.
Hold on.
I know.
I'm in the market for a top-of-the-line laptop. My husband said money is no object. What would you recommend? I've been telling her that she needs to have her own setup because, here's the thing, right? When you use your computer that's down here in my studio as streaming every week, and it's got to be like ready to go the way I left it. So it's to come into something that I don't know exactly what they did or what they touched, and it kind of like just puts me in the predicament of trying to figure out exactly where it was. And so now when I came on, my Chrome wasn't available with the extension that shows the chat. So I had to go into vMix Social to find it, which it worked out. Listen, it worked out, but it's just not as comfortable for me. But you know what? So far, in a pinch, 2 times in a row, I figured it out, and I'm glad that I did. So for that matter, it's not so bad.
And you did it calmly.
Really?
You did it with great calm and what do they call it? There's a word for it, but I can't remember what it was. But I have some ideas. I mean, does your wife use it for like her photos and like all that stuff too, or in editing, or is she more like,
No.
hey, I got to get on?
No,
and
she was just
research
on here
and stuff
jumping
like that?
around, doing her thing, she's been using my son's computer for the editing. It doesn't matter. I have another computer. I've told her we can buy an M1 Mac. I don't care. It's like we could just get it and put it in the
He
third
wants
bedroom.
that for him. Be careful. It's a trap.
No, I don't want it for me. But I would get it because it's super cost effective, and I have a couple extra monitors.
And
Boom.
you could test it,
Done.
and you could run stuff on
I
it.
could
and you
run
do
reviews
videos
on it and stuff like that.
I'm just saying.
All right, so I have a question for you. How do I sound overall?
I think you sound pretty good. Did you do something insidious? Did you do something special to your voice?
No, I'm not using my mic booster on my Wave XLR. So I'm
You don't need
curious to see how it sounds.
Don't need it. No,
Yeah,
sounds
it
good.
doesn't seem that way.
I don't have mine on there. Of course, I'm using a condenser mic. I stopped using for a minute just to test it. I will do that. Like, I should have put my Podmic on and run. I need to do that anyway for testing against the Go XLR's preamp. But I think you sound fine. I don't
right,
notice
good.
any difference. Yeah.
Good.
One less thing to
also-
mess around with. You know what I mean?
Okay, good. And Danielle Ryan, I know who's boss. I don't know. I don't even know who's boss. All I know is she'll say I am, but that's not
Bad
true.
answer. Wrong answer.
It's not really
Yeah.
true because if
Yeah.
she's not happy, then no one else is. So
I'll be honest with you. What I've learned in my house is being loud does not make you the boss.
no.
Crying like a baby doesn't make you a boss. I'm just telling you right now. I tried those. Both of them don't work. Strike two.
Oh, I know Dark Corner Studios. Yeah, that's I forget his
Yeah.
name, but yeah, he's been around on YouTube for a while. I think he's got like 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers. I think
It's a
he does some, like,
doppelganger,
stuff.
apparently. Patrick's
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Doppelganger for you, John, right?
He's
Okay.
kind of is.
Okay.
But we'll see. So what kind
'Cause
of
the world
PC
needs two of
does-
you, so.
So Sammy, she doesn't really want a PC. She wants a laptop, but I think she wants a laptop. She gets one for from school, but she's like, I don't need one. I get it back in September, and I'm like, you kind of just need to have your own thing all the time, because what happened is I jumped on here. I was ready to use what I needed for streaming, and then all of a sudden my chat was gone, and I was flipping out. So let me just tell you, I wasn't happy. So, but it's back. I'm okay. Everything's good. I'm using vMix Social, Sammy. You should be happy, because every time I'm really using vMix, you should be happy. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's like a fairy gets its wings.
kinda. It's kinda. So we got. I am so off kilter right now. Can you tell?
I could tell. You're
Hi,
kind of like
Eric.
the Leaning Tower of John.
Oh God. I'm
Emotionally.
just like-
You're going to gather yourself and
Yeah,
you're going
I
to
need to get
rally,
back.
and it's all going to be good, man.
I need to get
It's all gonna
back.
be good.
So, anyways, what I was trying to tell people is this Wave XLR. I started out with a Mo2 M2, and that was my main audio interface. And the Mo2 M2 is a great little interface that has 62 decibels of gain. And I've been using that, and that has always worked good. Then I went to the Rodecaster, and the Rodecaster has approximately 55 decibels of gain, okay? But this Wave XLR has approximately 55 decibels of gain also, and then it has an extra 20 of digital gain. So really that extra 20, it doesn't really count. It's not like 75 out of the audio interface itself. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah, I need to check on that. I know the Gold XLR that I use has 72, I believe, but I don't know if any of that's digital or not. I need to take a look at how much of that is. It's a Midas preamp, which are, if you know anything about Midas, they're pretty stout.
They make good mufflers.
But I like that. I like the preamp so far in this XLR. Eric's getting He's getting bombed on the sensitive Nightbot, by the way.
I know, I see that.
It's yelling at Eric, one of our best friends on here, and
I think it's hilarious, though.
we might want to. It's hilarious. And you know what's so perfect? He's the guy that would be the anti-trolling, the anti-whatever, and here's this poor guy trying to show support, and he's getting slammed and yelled at for stop spamming caps.
You could say it's
What's going on
sensitive,
with
but
that?
like, listen, you're a little bit too harsh probably, and you need to be like sensitive to the Nightbot too. All right, it's a
The
sensitive
Nightbot
situation.
does have. We checked. The Nightbot does have feelings.
Yeah.
And when you do hurt Nightbot's feelings, it tends to, what do they call it? It tends to emotionally eat a lot and
It
binge
does.
binge on food. Yeah, it eats a lot of ice cream. So we got to be careful about Nightbot.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's true. It's true. I set it up.
You know, look,
It works for what I
I
needed
eat
it
a
to
lot.
work
Look,
for.
Nightbot told me that, you know, it eats a lot because it's upset, but it's upset because it eats a lot.
The Nightbot is great because it puts it puts a couple of things that I want to put out there, which is like my merch link, and then also I think I have something else on there too. And then it just puts it out there like every 40 minutes or something, and it works pretty decent. But
Yeah.
more and more, it's just to see how things. I tightened up my stream so this way messages don't get put across like in that we don't want there too. So I'm a little bit trying to find the balance in between being overdone and having it work out perfect. So I blame
Yeah,
tech, but
well.
it's all tech. It's all tech. This tech stuff is driving me crazy tonight.
Well, it's like, oh, you really firmed up and tightened up your house on the digital, but you can't even keep your browser from being hacked in your own house. So
Oh,
maybe you
God.
need to firm up your studio. I'm just trying to create problems.
Well, anyway, so wait a second. Why? I keep on like seeing things coming and going in here a little bit. Okay,
Are you?
merch. Okay, I see. I have a different setup. Oh, look at Eric. He's so smart. I
know. He's working it out.
So he's
I know.
trying to
He knows how
to
to- set
set up the thing. Yeah, I disabled them for right now, so this way no one can just go in and do what you're doing. And I'm eventually going
too
to
smart.
have it right. But he's right. Look at this. He's got this. So these are just little codes that you can put in for the Nightbot that are the norms. And this will the 8-ball is actually what I want to use, Eric. So then I can ask the 8-ball question and we can have some fun with that. So we're going to get into that. So that will be fun down the line. I just haven't done it yet, but he's got it. He's onto something right there. And Patrick's back, and yeah. So these guys know, but
I want to thank our new friend, is it Kombucha, for giving Nightbot some ice cream, because I feel like that will settle things down a little bit.
yeah.
So.
Well, I hate messing up. I do. It drives me nuts. I came back from vacation. I set this camera up. I set the camera in the back up. I had everything ready to go. I was actually going to
priorities,
do a
got it.
little dance countdown, and then when I came in here and noticed that things weren't exactly right, it kind of just like threw me for a little craziness. But setting up bots to put links is genius. So here's the thing. Tom Buck told me about this, and I've seen the Nightbot before, but I wasn't sure if I was going to use it. And then I spoke to a few people, and he was one of them, and was saying like there's other settings in here that tighten up things if things get out of hand. But then the thing, what I did was I added like thousands of keywords into my YouTube that will block out
Thousands?
any bad, thousands literally, of keywords that
Really?
will block out any bad chat if it comes in. And so the other thing is that I saw that it does these little links, and I was like, man, this is just great to have. You put it in there, like if you're like Jeff, he'll probably put it in every 5 minutes, a link coming up, but I tend to keep it at like 30 or 40 minutes at a clip.
Did he just take a shot at me? I was
Shots fired.
I'm your biggest supporter, but you're coming at me like a mafia hit right here Okay, I got
But-
you, soprano. It's all good.
But I think that it's kind of cool to have that. But here's the thing, right?
Yeah, it is. It is cool.
How does this mic sound without the Cloudlifter on there, without the booster on there? Because right now I am at about 60 dBs of boost from the Wave XLR. And I'm just curious, like compared to last week, I don't know if it sounds worse or better. I'm curious to go back and see if there's, a little bit of a different sound. But the way it looks right now, I would say that you don't have to buy a mic booster with this Wave XLR. I don't think so.
You do.
And it was
Not
on
from
the
what I've seen,
border.
I don't-
It was on the border with the Motu M2. I had to run it at 100%. And the only reason I bought the mic booster is because I had that great deal on a $50, mic booster.
Yeah.
And it was for 2 inputs, 2 outputs. So it just made sense. But right now, I think that I could not use it and get through, and it would work just fine. So I don't know.
I think anything you can take out of the chain that's not really that necessary, I'm all about it. It's just beyond tripping over wires. It's just another thing that can go south on you, and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and an extra cord.
I think
too.
you sound really good. I don't think you'll have any issues. Like I think when we listen back at it, I don't think you'll notice anything.
No, I don't think so either. But I'm going to take a listen from last week's and this week's, because guys, this is only the second time that we've gone with vMix. So as a full production. So at this rate, it was it's all a test of see how things come out. I think I'll throw the mic booster back on. I just because if you can run an amp at a lower decibel, then it's putting out less power, which in turn, usually over time, it just would last longer. So I'm gonna use it.
I mean, it's
still.
not going to hurt anything. It's not going to hurt anything. So I mean,
No, I'll probably throw the thing away if it ever went back by that time. But so but the thing is, I have it, so I might as well just use the mic booster, and everybody's saying that it sounds great, so that's good to know as far as it working. So I mean, there's your answer. We're done with the show. Basically,
see you next Tuesday, everybody. It's been fun.
See you next week.
Go apologize to your wife. Go buy a laptop.
I think we need one. Especially after going on vacation and having that laptop from 11 years. I was like, just to go open something up, it was like 30 seconds. I was like, are you kidding me? But I didn't want to.
Maybe. No, I mean, you could get a really kick traveling, nice laptop and just have something you could take with you, but you could also stream with, which kind of defeats the purpose. But you did a nice stream Tuesday from Beirut. I thought that was cool. And that sounded good. That looked good. All right. So it was a lot of fun.
I was at Hershey Park, and I came in on Jeff's stream, and I had about 4 megs of upstream Wi-Fi in the hotel, and it got me through. It lasted. I used the $20, $18 mic and a $50 audio interface, and I was able to get everything done that I wanted to. So I was pretty happy about that. So if you're enjoying John's audio, don't forget to hit that like button. Right.
That's scary, though, because, what if they hate your audio? We're not going to get those likes.
Hit the like button if you've noticed that I'm extra stressed out in the beginning of this stream.
You're about 400 likes. Can I hit 10 times? Is that something I can do?
I believe this is the most stressed out that I've ever been on a stream, starting the stream.
If volume of voice is any indication, I would say yes. That would definitely that would be it.
The only reason I yelled loud upstairs because she's upstairs, the air conditioner's down here, and so if I yell, she'll hear it. But she yelled I yelled so loud. She was like, they thought my son rolled in here in his freaking underwear, and he's like, "What's going on?" I go, "Get out of here!"
This is a family show, son.
Right.
Get some clothes on.
What's going on?
Coming here in the tidy whities.
So Eric's saying, was he in Trenton? Trenton and Camden, it's similar to possibly Beirut, but I was in Hershey Park. But
I called it Beirut because it was a hotel room, and I couldn't tell where he was when it looked like a correspondent doing something from Beirut in the old days, and I thought, and then he goes on to compare Hershey, Pennsylvania with Beirut. I don't think that was a good idea, but
No, Hershey was cool, except that we had a tornado warning in the area of Hershey Park in Chester County, Pennsylvania. And then actually they were trying to confirm a tornado about 3 blocks from us, but it doesn't seem like it did touch ground for all I know, but they're still trying to investigate that situation. But John, we couldn't even tell. You handled it with such grace. I'm going to be really honest with you. I did definitely not handle it with grace, but I appreciate. I think you could, Jeff, say that I didn't. Off air, I might have handled it with grace, but on air, but off air, I was freaking out. So.
The grace of a 3-legged drunk elephant on ice. But it's okay. You came into stream so smooth and so elegant.
Yeah, I don't know.
You covered.
I know Eric. I know Eric lives in Chester County, pretty close to where you can smell mushrooms like part of the year or half of the year. It's like
that's weird.
Yeah, it's like one of the mushroom capitals or like
hell
areas.
Is going on with Nightbot?
Nightbot does not like Eric.
No disassembly required. Stop spamming emotes.
Does not like
hilarious. Eric. So Eric, you're getting bullied by a Nightbot. So how does that feel?
Right. So
oh my goodness.
So we got the creative lady. If you haven't checked out her channel, she's stopping in. We go back and forth. I check her channels out. She checks mine, and she's saying, "Hello, everyone. Popping in. Set up my Mac Mini." So you got a Mac Mini.
Hey, good congrats! That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Can't wait to hear about it.
We were just talking about that I might have to pick up one myself. That's a possibility. It's either that or a laptop. One of roses. We're not hilarious. We're borderline psychotic, but it's kind of fun.
Same thing.
It's kind of fun.
It's all perception. It's
right.
Psychotic can be funny.
Yes, but we got Eric saying, "Shh, not those mushrooms." Right? You could drive up that highway. I don't know what it is. It's like by
what kind of mushrooms?
Kennett Square, right? Kennett Square, Pennsylvania is like one of the mushroom capitals of America.
Not the ones where the pigs rooted out. When the pigs root out the mushrooms that are like $40 an ounce.
No, not those. Those are truffles.
Me out, people.
Truffles.
Yeah.
This is a little different, but it's
this is New
you
Jersey.
can smell them from the highway.
Pennsylvania.
So
really,
yeah,
awesome.
You can.
Okay, well that's interesting.
So super interesting. Cheers from Santiago. Santiago.
I don't know. Have you met Linz?
No.
Do you know Linz?
No.
I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Linz. Let us know if I'm pronouncing Linz right.
Thanks for stopping in and checking our stream out. And so
very nice to meet you.
Yes, I appreciate you dropping in. Yeah, we talk about a couple different things in the beginning of these streams, and then we do a Q&A. So if anybody has any questions about new cameras that came out, the Sony camera that's coming out, that I might walk to B&H next week and just go see if it's there, and then which probably will be, and then anything. I know Jeff and I just bought some new tripods, and
we did.
Yep, and we're always checking out different stuff. Like right now, I'm using the Wave XLR with a Podmic with no Cloudlifter, and I think that most people will be super happy about this and how it sounds. So we're always trying new things in general. So have a question, let us know. No problem.
Eric's going to bed. We should say good night to him after this. This trolling that he
after
did.
This one?
He might be just worn out from fighting with. He's fighting with Nightbot.
Right.
He said
He's
good
exhausted.
night to Nightbot. Look what he did. He said
Patrick lives in West Philly though, so he gets all kinds of smells.
Oh, yeah. There's all sorts of smells there probably.
And I work in Newark, so I know what that's all about. He's not old. He's younger than us, first of all, but he's probably working his butt off. I saw him doing some streams.
He's got a few more kids than we do, and I think that's like dog years.
Yeah.
When every kid is like 7 years older or something. So
I think he's I think he's just a little bit fed up with Nightbot, and he's trying to get out of here. That's what I think.
Well, they have not gotten along since he jumped in, so I can appreciate it if you're going to be treated like that.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Adam, how you doing?
Hey, Adam, how
Thanks
you
for stopping
doing?
in.
Nice to see you.
Adam, every time that I jump on and I go and check like a couple streams that might be going on out there, I missed your stream by like about 10 minutes. So I'm hoping to catch one of your lives soon. I've been on vacation for like the last 3-4 days, but I'm also running around the rest of this week, and I hope to catch a few people's streams while I'm out there. And he says that he's like 150 years old.
Well, he's got a few kids, so
I don't think so.
You know, we don't need to tell everybody
yes.
how many, but he did. You know, he's got a couple
He's got a couple.
that he knows of.
Just
He's
a
got
couple.
Times
So
10.
I know Dr. Elo knows Adam exploits, and I've always seen Adam on StreamYard. He's always present on a lot of those streams, and then he does his own live streaming too. So, and I just saw Dr. Elo today. I was checking out his stream earlier today. And he did a great stream, and he was going over lenses and the bokeh that you get and how you get a nice bokeh background. So that was interesting.
I feel like my stream is a little bit jittery.
You look a little choppy, but
know.
that could be your internet.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's my internet, not you, not nothing we're doing.
There's
So.
VY World, and he's coming in to say hi, yo, what's going on? How you doing? And so, Dr. Elo, this is how the Wave XLR sounds. And I don't know exactly how I have my second camera looking, but I'll see if I can get this to get on my desktop, and let me see how it looks. This is the second camera. Yeah, I mean, here it is. You can't even see it. It's like right next to my Stream Deck. So I have the 15-button Stream Deck here, and then I have this Wave XLR, and it just takes up like almost no room, which makes it, I think, great for that reason. And for streaming, I think it's really very effective. Whereas if you were doing like everyday stuff and you need just an audio interface to do everything, it's definitely not something that you would want to buy. But if you're a true streamer, then that's where this thing starts to shine, because what we want is we want to be able to route our audio in different directions. And this is where this excels, kind of like the Go XLR, but we also got Elgato bringing us something that they keep up on and that they keep on improving, and we're going to see this evolve into something much more than what we see right now, I believe. And so it's been working. How are you liking it now? Another week gone by. How are you liking it?
I'm liking it. It'll be good for me to untether at some point the Gold XLR. I still have that, and now it's amazing to me that I've not had any real collisions on the audio, considering they're both loaded in and all this. The only thing I do notice, and again, it could be a part of that, or it could be something else going on in my system, and it's minor, but I'll come back the next morning, whatever. I haven't changed anything, and I'm not getting a mic sound, or I'm not hearing something that I should be hearing. And the quick fix is just to, unfortunately, pull the thing out of the USB, put it back in for the XLR, and it's fine. But that could be something interfering with the USB, how their assignments are going. So it could be something in my system. I have a lot of USB stuff going on. So, I don't blame XLR. So to answer your question, I'm liking it more and more, and I'm actually controlling all my sound right here, because we talked about not having any of these. I'm going to show it, the lovely faders that the XLR has.
Right.
But I am using my tablet tonight, which is working. I've figured out something there, maybe. My tablet, I have the Stream Deck Mobile. And so I'm controlling with the Wave XLR plugin all my sound and all those subchannels. So I'd say I'm really, really, really enjoying it, honestly.
Yeah. I think it's getting
that's a
better
simple
and
answer.
better
Yeah.
each
Getting
week.
better and better.
Yep. And
Yeah.
the thing is, there may be other things that will make this even better. But as far as like the software, it's worked really well for me. I've not had any of those glitches that you've had. But it could be that you're fighting, right?
I don't blame the software. I think it's something else in like assignments of USBs getting mixed up, or maybe I gotta eventually purge the mini, because
Yes.
I think the mini right now is still overall a better system, but I don't think I'm going to go back to it, because I think if I'm going to commit to this, which I am, and now that I'm using it with the Stream Deck, and then I'll probably buy a Stream Deck, and then you and I are going to figure out faders. I just feel like that's the future. So the XLR is probably going to end up in eBay, but it's going to be very hard for me to part with that at some point. But I'm in. I'm all in on it.
Yeah, I feel this. I feel exactly the same way. But Adam's saying my guest had lots of great info, and I couldn't get a word in edgewise. Apparently, they didn't like that. So the people watching the stream didn't like that you couldn't. But if it's great info, isn't that what they should enjoy? You would think that they would want some great info, but I guess what, they really come in to tune into him, though, right?
Well, I'm confused. Did he actually have a guest on?
Yeah.
Was that the issue?
Yeah, it sounds like to me, because he has guests on and they talk, and I think that people come to see him, but also I guess like if it's great info, they should be wanting to see that, though, right?
Well, I mean, I get to say something usually every 10 minutes, and no one complains. But yeah. Well, somebody's always complaining about something, I guess. But
yeah, I mean, you know what though? I think it's more important that
fun.
you're bringing great info, right? Though, like that's to
Absolutely
me, it's like
right.
If you're bringing great info, you should be
So
like,
for
hey guys, listen up.
That's kind of one of the. Yeah, that's a great point. Like, you kind of want to ask the person who was negative. Well, you really don't want to engage them, but you kind of want to say, "Are you mad because you just didn't like the information, or what was your intent here? Is it to get information, or is it just to be on chat playing in Sandbox? And
Right.
Why are you so upset?"
Right.
I don't know.
People, you can't make everybody happy, that's for sure. If you set up the drums, will you use the Go XLR or the Wave XLR?
Well, there's a real problem with that. There's only one XLR input into these things, so I'm not really sure how that's going to work out, my friend. I think what I'm going to do is I have an 8-channel ACP88. I'm take that back. I have a FirePod Presonus, and I could run an 8-channel, and then I don't know how I'm going to handle that. I do want to talk to John, and I've got some ideas with some music friends, because I do use 8 channels, 8 mics. I don't know if there's a way. John, that's a good question. I was going to bring that up some point. Like, run it through an 8-channel, control it on a mixer external, dump it out of a master output through one XLR, and then run that. I don't know if I can run that through this interface then, and then in. Probably not, huh?
Nope. And
if not, that's
the big problem why people are,
Yep.
it's just this thing is not versatile for anything else, but excels at really that one thing. And so that's why, people want an in and an out in this, and it's not exactly easy to do.
Sammy's bringing it up, and I don't want to step over on Robert here, but he does bring up, because him and I were talking on DMs about this, and about doing an 8-channel. I'm looking at the Focusrite, maybe upgrading to the Focusrite 8-channel. And he's saying that that's what he was doing, and I think in theory you could do it. I guess I'd have to look at it a little bit. If not, then I'm going to have to go through a different route. Now, if I use the 8-channel Focusrite, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that'll USB me right in. So I'd have to set my stream up to be that interface. Sorry, I just autofocused. That interface, and I'd have to skip the wave. So there's a lot of things to consider to do it right.
How would you go in and out of the wave? I don't understand, because you'd have to use a virtual cable if you were going to do that.
No, you would run your you run your 8 mics into the mixing board, okay? Right. And no, I take that back. You run that into your interface. Your interface could run into the mixing board. Well, that won't work, because you got to get interfaced. You could go to the mixing board, into the interface, pass through, control your individual sounds at the board, and then you're hooked into the computer with one. Obviously, I see with the wave. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you can't use the wave though, but who cares? Because
you could daisy.
Yeah,
you
how?
could probably use both though. I think you could.
No.
Well, yeah, because you could actually, because the XLR out could go into a channel on the Focusrite from the wave.
Yeah, but that would be redundant though. I mean, can you?
That would be kind of dumb. I don't like that.
But maybe you have a point,
I don't
because
know,
maybe
Sammy.
if you could, but if you could pull that one XLR into that one channel on the mixer, you still get the whole ball of wax probably.
Yeah, see, that's what he did. So that's what I would do that. Do the MX, do the mixer, then go XLR out, and then to the Focusrite. Yep, and now I'm using the Focusrite. So he's not using the XLR. He's not using the Wave XLR in that mode. That's the separate interface we're talking about. I understand the way Sammy's doing it. That's the right way to do it. You could go right into the mixer, although you could just also go a Focusrite into a DAW and then control your stuff that way too, and then out, which might even be better because you could put effects on. But you could do it that way. I could run it into my board and all that, the board to the Focusrite, and then you're interfaced in. But you're going a different way then you don't have the auto route. If you're doing it live, you've lost some of the audio routing beauty of Wave XLR. So
yeah, but if you pull in that channel from the XLR, can you still use the whole ball of wax that you get from the Wave? Because you're still using the software with your mic.
That's a good point.
But the thing is,
you're saying, what if John? No, that doesn't work.
I don't know if it would work.
No, you could do it on some level. You could do it on some level. Let's say my theory would be 7 channels drums, 1 channel voice on the Focusrite, then the output run it to the XLR here, and then that's the master. But you got to control your individual channels at the board or on the Focusrite. You can control your individual valves, get your balance, and then everything then is a ball of wax. So you've got a couple things to balance out there, which you could do it. I think you could.
Somebody's saying you could do that in vMix too, but the thing is, to me, I think that's like just too much work. I mean, if you're gonna go and pull all your drum stuff in, just use one mic for the mic purpose, and so that night you don't have everything getting pulled in, separate from a stream. To me, it's just like, who cares?
Yeah, but how are you going to do that? I mean, that sounds easy, but it's not. If you want decent sound, or you can use one mic, but you're not going to get great sound, and then you have the issue of where you're going to place it. I mean, it's
not one mic. I'm saying you haven't. You're hooked up 8 mics, but just use one particular mic for when you're done drumming. Come over to talking to. That's all.
Well, I think that's the answer. Is just to have something you can step on and toggle, right? Which you'd want to do anyway. I'll be honest with you, that's the right way to do it, is to have a MIDI that you can toggle off the voice and the Focusrite, because you'd want to cut this. You don't want this on. This would be terrible to have on while you're banging away. The whole point of putting a mic on each drum and on a hi-hat and everything is that you can isolate and push out any background noise and just isolate down, so it's just very controlled sound. Otherwise, it's just loud wackadoodle. You can get decent sound with a kick mic and maybe 2 overheads or even 1 overhead if you do it right, and still parse it down. There's some great ways to do it. That's the way to do it. You need to cut this mic. So I think, John, you hit the answer. That's kind of what I thought originally. Then all of a sudden I started thinking outside the box and I got hurt.
Well, there's several ways to do it, and it's just a matter of see, the thing is, like, I'm not like waist deep yet into vMix, because I still want to I want to go and take the Rodecaster and hook up I have the ASIO drivers downloaded. I want to go into it and see if I can pull out separate channels and see if I could do that, because I think that would be great to let a lot of people know, because I don't think that a lot of people know that yet, or that they have tried it yet. So I'm going to check that out myself.
Brian, that's what I've done in the past.
Yes,
I didn't have the Focusrite. I have a FirePod.
So Brian's saying
P10.
I'd probably use the Mackie mixer and take it back into the Focusrite in stereo. Yeah, well, you can do that, but you can line out on those, but you can't line out on a Wave.
No,
No.
yeah, I think he's just speaking to the drums,
Yeah.
and that's the whole idea. You have to
Right.
separate this out, and that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You can't run these. There's
Right.
no point in running them both
But
in
you
the
could
same
you could do
on the
that.
same system.
You could just add that into vMix if you wanted to, and then come in and then just unmute your Wave XLR and then just use that.
Okay, let me ask you. So I have an audio input, a wave stream. I could have an audio input that is say the drums, which would be essentially the Focusrite. Is that possible? Into vMix, and then toggle those
It's
inputs
not like a
on and
toggle.
off depending?
Like when you're done, you could just shut the audio down.
Well, it's
on
toggling.
Right,
Shut one
it's-
off,
yeah,
shut
yeah,
one
yeah.
on, shut one on.
that. Yeah. Well,
And the reason I say that is because that's what a MIDI would do. That's why
Yes.
drummers, you see drummers all the time who are teaching, they have a foot thing and they just turn that. Watch Drumeo or something online, and you just step on that and it cuts this mic
Right.
and goes to the sweet, sweet reverb compressed sounds of the drums. And then you get back to this. Yeah.
what's going on, Darren? Thanks for stopping
I'm going
in.
to do that. I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Maybe Darren. knows,
Absolutely,
'cause
I'm gonna do
Isn't he didn't he say he's an audio engineer?
Dude, I've been doing this for like 15 years. I got a $10,000
Yeah, but we
rack
don't have
over
a
here. I
Wave
think I could-
XLR. That's all I'm saying. But
It's
you could
just,
figure this
but
out.
once you separate it out, it doesn't matter. Like if you're,
Right.
I was thinking we're all trying to include the Wave XLR into that setup, which is always fun to think about. But I think it's senseless. Like I think you're right.
Right.
It's bad voodoo to do it. It's stupid work, and the other way makes way more sense. Totally makes way more sense.
This is a gentleman that I met on Dan C's live stream, which if you've not seen Dan C bearded,
It's fun.
he runs a live stream and he just is a magnet of a personality, right? I mean, he's just something else. And so I met Callie's groom room on there, and I've just started going back and forth and watching some of his Instagram stuff. And so he's joining
Very
in
cool.
just to say hi. I appreciate that. Thanks for stopping in.
Well, it's nice to meet you,
appreciate
Callie. I love Dan's channel and his lives. It's been a lot of fun to poke in there. So.
that. Yeah. I mean, he's.
I saw the original Flex. he
See, the
did
thing
last
is,
week.
Thomas. I like
incredible.
watching Dan, right? For the same reason maybe
Mm-hmm.
he likes watching us a little bit, is he can get a vibe of how we look, what kind of equipment we're using, ask those questions and whatever.
Right.
But the thing is, I watch Dan because he's been live streaming longer, and his personality and how he engages with people and how
Yeah.
he talks. So to me, it's like it's a little bit of both, right? Like I'm learning from him, even
Yeah.
though it's like beards are not related. Although in the winter, it's a close possibility.
I don't even belong in there. I hid out. I was wearing a burqa for a while because I'm like, I don't want them to know I don't have a beard. Just gorgeous beards in there, and I'm walking in there with this thing. But they were so nice that they didn't care. But Dan has you could tell he has an experienced and really nice way of dealing with his flow of his show and how to interact. And I think he's almost a study case in how to do a really good live stream, and I know he's doing a lot of other things. He does a lot of giveaways, and he was doing that thing last week with the Flex where they were they were just looking and enjoying other people's beards. I didn't realize, by the way, there were so many different types of beards. It was incredible.
Yeah.
So I love a whole bunch. Yeah.
It's kind of cool because it's like you wouldn't believe like how popular this beard thing is. It's just incredible.
It is.
And
It's incredible. Yeah.
seeing like we're all content creators here, right? The most of us. And so the thing is, if you want to learn how to get better, right, at anything, it's you go and hang out with other content creators on their streams and you see what they're doing and you pick up those little things like that they do well. And so that's what I do. And when I found his stream and seeing this guy run a stream with 200 plus people, as many as 400 in a live stream, it helps you understand how to make things flow a little bit. I want to say hi to Todd. We know Todd from our group that we belong to, Heather's group and Tom's group. And I was on a little StreamYard talk with him, and we were talking cameras this week, and we had some good laughs at it also. So we all belong to the same group, and we like chatting it up on the sidelines with other stuff too. So that's what we do. Good.
Check on that up.
But
It's a good time.
Yeah, I mean that's the way it seems, right? So it's really cool. You got
I can come
more
in there.
women than you would expect, right? In those streams too.
There's a lot of women in there. They love the
Yeah.
beards.
Yeah, because I think there's a lot of women that are like, "Oh, my husband's or my
makes me
boyfriend's
wanna grow
beard
it.
is disgusting. Could you please
I
make
know.
him smell better?"
Brian Paul said he'd bring the beard, and I was thinking he could be like my beard Sherpa, and he could guide me through
Yeah.
the beard world with, he could hold my hand and take me through the.
I think he may need to be there. That's for sure. I think.
Yeah,
he should-
no, I
he should
think
go.
he'd make
I
a
think
great beard
Brian
Sherpa.
subscribed, right? I think he did.
To Dan? I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pretty
last
sure.
week or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So the real cool thing is with using vMix, and I know we've said this already, but literally like about 30 seconds goes by, and sometimes as little as
Quick.
5 seconds, and we get to see everyone's messages and keep up with chat so much faster than usual. And I love it.
It's about a second. I would say chat. Well, I mean, our lag time just looking at live and what's going on. I mean, it's about a second behind, which is incredible.
Yeah.
But the chat is darn near instantaneous. It's incredible.
You gotta drop what you exactly have right now, and tell us what maybe you're thinking about upgrading to, because that is what we do on a scale of just to give people a little bit of a background. If you're here for the first time, I've only been doing this streaming for about what now? How long? 4 or 5 months?
4 months. So
4 months.
Four, so
And you're
4+
on-
months. I know that we're doing. This is our. I think this might be our 30th stream.
Oh, is this our
together.
30th?
I think this is 30.
Including Thursday,
Yeah.
Tuesdays and Thursdays?
Tuesday,
feels like-
Tuesday was 29. And I believe today, if I do the math, that would make this 30.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Third, and that's
Yeah,
30.
so congratulations, sir. I didn't. We hit 30,
Congratulations.
and we haven't missed one. Even when you went to Beirut, we didn't miss one night. And I, of all the things, besides all the learning and meeting all these amazing people, I'm so happy to take that journey on with you for 30 straight ones without missing one. And yeah, thank you.
It's been really
it's been
cool.
a lot of fun. Thank you.
So that's 30 streams in about 4 months or 3.
Well, we haven't missed one. So if I do 2, that's that's 8 a month, and so that's about 3+ months. It's not,
Yeah, it's
almost
4
you had
months.
solo ones.
Yeah.
It's almost 4 months because you were doing a couple solo ones before we got onto this. So
Right.
You are absolutely at 4 months, and then we are closing in on 4 months, and then when we get 6 months, I think that's when we have to give each other a paper gift or something. I can't remember. Or a tripod.
A paper gift.
I think for streamers, when you hit 6 months, it's an anniversary for tripods, and you exchange tripods.
Yeah, we did buy the same tripods, which is crazy is that you and I seem to always, even if we don't talk about it, we have like the same stuff a lot of times. It's crazy. Our minds
They're
are
really weird that way.
Yeah, because we're about finding like the things that are most cost effective and not garbage that hopefully stand the test of time. And we don't just buy anything if it supposedly just works. We really read through and check things out, and we beat them up and use them ourselves too. So,
and sometimes that's a risk. I mean, Brian Paul may come back and have the last laugh on us on the tripod, but I really feel comfortable with all that equation where we made that decision, and height being one of them. And so I'm excited to check that out. So
right, yeah, absolutely.
Can't wait.
So he's saying currently I record everything on my phone, and as much as I am enjoying, I feel like I'm outgrowing it, not in terms of numbers, but in terms of techno. So
I got it. Okay.
yeah, your phone can go a long way, but I know how it is, because especially me as a tech guy, it doesn't matter. It's just like I want to just make it better. And so I'll spend the money to make it better. And I think you're kind of like the same way, but it doesn't mean that we'll go and just spend like ridiculous stuff, right? So it's the same scenario, right? Cost effective is not garbage. That's right. That's now we're talking. It's about like just getting something that fits the need of the person, and that could be different in many different ways.
Well, and then you and I always have that conversation about there are certain products where we're like, we're willing to just spend a little more under than we normally would because we need to put that money in spending on something we want to put a little more money in. You know, we always probably try to get the most value for the dollar. We're never too high, never too low. But sometimes you want a little higher value, so you might dip. Does that make sense? And they might dip under like a tripod. You might go, it seems like it's as good as a $169 one. So I'll spend the $100 and put the $69 into my Z E10,
and
fun
especially
jar or something
since
like that.
since people they're rebranding the same exact equipment. And so it is the same exact thing, and they rebrand them. And sometimes you can get that same exact thing for cheaper if you go and look. So because we know we see it all the time, people just buy, different things, and they stamp their name on them, and they're off to the races and using that as their product. So, yeah. So I mean, so if he's looking for a camera, there's only two places I send anybody now, Jeff, and we've talked about this a lot lately, right?
We might as well just have like a link. Brian really slamming on us. I don't know that you should have him also be, him being Brian, also be a mod. It seems like
that's our mod.
A dangerous combination. But he says we have terrible. We didn't look. We were taking his advice because Brian gives out some of the best camera editing, filming advice. And if you don't know him, this is a guy who's got 8 regional Emmys. He knows what he's talking about. And he told us a different tripod, and John and I went a different direction. And yeah, it can last us a career, but
yeah, if your career is like, he's basically saying that our career is going to last as long as the tripod, like a year. I think that's what he's saying.
Got a year left. Got a year left. But we're going to be all right.
Here's the thing. I almost
bought, I can take the risk.
Right. I almost bought Brian's suggestion several times, and there was one thing holding me back, and it was the height of the tripod. So I'm going to go this route, and if this tripod doesn't last me 2 years, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the $400 or $500 to get the tripod that I truly should buy.
Yeah.
And this is going to be like my last, which I bought a junky tripod once. It lasted me, 3 years or so, and that was the end of it. But if this doesn't last, then I'm going to have to spend the money for a good one, because at this point, it doesn't make sense.
I look at it this way. This one's going to get me a lot of value to get some things done in a very safe space, right? It's going to do that. And if it does break in a year or so, it also, for not much risk, give me some real insight into what I do need down the road, without having to spend crazy money right now. I don't know enough to know what I don't know. So I kind of want to, I don't know. There's certain things,
Yeah.
With the Sony, 6400 when I bought it, that's a different thing. You do your research. But we don't know these tripods unless you use them. How are you going to know?
Yeah, and there's a lot of different stuff. And listen, I see people using like these tabletop tripods that they're out there for $150. I mean, I can't spend $150 on one. And there's one, the Pyotech, I think that just came out a couple months ago. That's a smaller tripod that has a little hook on it, hangs on a fence if you need it. It's got your quick release on it and all those great things.
It's cool.
But it's awesome, and I want to get it, but it's not something I can just get my hands on right now because I'm too busy buying Wave XLRs and wireless crap that I don't probably need, but I love it so much.
New laptops.
I know laptops probably.
And that's the thing. Like I have other things I really need to get. I thought I was going to get a $100 Stream Deck 32 key, and that didn't. Did you guys get yours, by the way? Did you guys get all your 32s?
Mine's in the mail.
Your 32?
Mine's in the mail. I can't wait to see it. I can't
wait to see what you get.
So if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, we don't know if this really is going to show up or not. So we're curious to see if the Stream Deck that we wanted does show up. It might be a little bit of a heist, but I don't care. My credit card company and Amazon will cover it, so I'm not really stressed about it. Who knows? But he's saying that he just might he'll just throw a couple books underneath anyway. And that's it, though. Sometimes you just got to, like, if your switch pod is too short and you throw in a couple books underneath to make it work, we've all been there. We've all done that.
Okay, I want to just point out to our moderator Nightbot trainer in Brian who is slamming on us about these tripods. I just want to ask him though, what in the hell was I supposed to do? Like, I want to be able to do. You keep saying, man, do some really cool B-roll shots. You know, you could learn the 5 really basic angles of B. Well, one of the 5 is a shot over my shoulder down, right? That's a nice, cool B-roll shot. I'm doing something. I got the pro. How am I supposed to do that with a tripod that's only 50 inches tall, man? Like, am I supposed to put books under it? Like,
right.
Adam, to get the... I mean, what's the point of having a tripod that's going to last me 40 years if I can't get a shot I need? I'm coming back at Brian because he's slamming on us, and I'm like, I'm going to come back.
My feeling was that tripod wasn't even eye level for me, you know? So it's like I kind of just wanted something a little taller. And then also, like, if you're using a tripod in the back of, like, say, a graduation setting or something you're in the background of, it's like I want to be a little bit above.
Up higher.
And it really helps out. And listen, if it doesn't work out, then, you know, I'll spend the money for a good
it's one thing. I think the 4000's great. If, like I said, if you're plopping over to the soccer field, grabbing a front line on the deal and getting your little kid on the pee-wee soccer,
right.
Yeah, you almost made a goal. It's perfect.
Right.
I'm just kidding. It's great. I'm just kidding. I really did want something taller for product shots and over-the-shoulder shots, and I could get it for $60 cheaper, and that's the way it worked out.
That's it. So what did you miss? Not much. It's just like a banter back and forth between getting bashed by Brian about not buying the right tripod.
We're having an argument with our mod. You're acting like nothing's going on. I'm really afraid what's going to happen here. Yeah.
But
this may turn into a complete meltdown.
Nothing that we can't handle with Brian. You know, we're going to get him back somehow, so we're not going to worry about it.
We're sending. What do they call that? We're sending people to his door right now. We're squatting on him. It's not squatting. It's some other word. Swatting. It's a terrible thing. Don't do it.
Thanks for stopping in, Moni, and checking us out and saying hi. I was just chatting with you just recently, and I always like to check what he's up to, and he's got the R5, and what I love about that it doesn't matter if it's an R5, but the new RF mount, you know, has those little ND filters that you can buy. That's that goes behind the lens, and man, those are great. Yeah, they're really cool, and they're super expensive. But I'm gonna keep my eye out for somebody that's like getting rid of them for cheaper.
What is the what's the benefit of having it behind the lens?
Oh well. You don't get any distortion or any of those factors that an ND filter can cause. And so anything before the lens is definitely beneficial. And plus, then it's just, you don't have to buy something that fits a filter size. It just slides in and does its job.
Oh, okay. All right.
Which is nice.
And they're much more expensive than the other?
Well, that whole adapter setting was like $299 when it first came out. So maybe if I find somebody that is willing to get rid of one, maybe for $100 or something, who knows? You never know what people are willing to get rid of in a couple years later. So
I have to see. Wish my llama would be taller.
Yeah, I wish your llama was taller too. So not the tripod, the back and forth. So he says, I love it. And he says he loves the back and forth. Of course he loves the back and forth.
I'm going to knock that out. I'm going to knock that out.
He likes busting our chops.
Yeah, he busts our chops. Yeah, he does.
So why is your llama like right in the... if I could keep this up the whole time where it blocks your llama out, that's perfect.
Oh,
but why is your llama like right there?
It's staring at you. Because he's my little streaming buddy. He's helping me out.
Oh no!
What? Is he bothering you? Are you intimidated by my llama?
You have to change your medication.
Well, I haven't taken it in 4 days, so it's gonna be a problem. I can't wait.
So he's saying yes, less refraction and no need for multiple filter sizes. See, guys, sometimes I know what I'm talking about. I know it sounds like I say it like a caveman because I don't know the exact words. And this gentleman here, he says less refraction. So that big word right there is not in my vocab, but that is the correct verbiage or nounage, whatever it is.
Like, I don't know the words.
The one thing I know is, prepositions. That's the only thing I know. You know prepositions? At, across, against, among, by, between, for, from, in, into, of, on, over, to, towards, down, with, under. Those. I'm good at
You
those.
sound like a demon record backwards.
That's prepositions. Samantha, hello. How are you? Thanks for stopping in
said record,
and checking
so
us
I'll just
out.
age
We're here.
myself.
We're here bantering back and forth, and you know, Brian's picking on us, but basically, he's got no room this week. You know, I'm expecting something out of Brian this week, and if he doesn't bring it, we're gonna have problems.
You're just mad. You're just mad that he
He's kicked off.
took you to the floor. He took you to the mat on the tripod. You're gonna be okay.
Well, look at this guy. I've been playing drums for 20 years, and I can't help notice that all the beautiful drums that surround you. Look at that snare wall. Look at that. There's a lot of drummers out there.
Yeah, there are a lot of drummers out here. It's great to meet another fellow drummer, Callie. Yeah, it's one of my snare racks. I got a bunch of other drums, but they're over there as we're supposed to be painting, but I haven't gotten to it yet. But thank you. Yeah, drummers, we know pretty drums. We know pretty things when we see them. This is a problem, Callie, is we already have enough of a gear problem with the drums, right? Then we add in this little addiction, and it's not a good... It's probably not the best marriage in the world, but we will keep fighting the fight, brother. Keep it up. Thank you.
Just like really quick, get back to him. The only thing that we recommend on like a real nice, cost-effective, under $1,000 camera is, listen, it's so easy nowadays. You don't have to even sound intelligent. Is for the cost-effectiveness, you got to go with the new Sony that's coming out. It's all stuff that's been tried and true. It's been used in the ZV-1. It's been used in the 6400. It's the same processors, the upgraded sensors. It's stuff that's like been around the block, and we know it's going to work well. And you know, the new ZV-E10 Sony.
I hate that name.
I hate the name.
I just hate it.
Is coming out on the 24th. They'll be sold out most likely. And a Canon M50 Mark II are some of the few cameras that we recommend under the $1,000 mark. And also, I don't discount the A6400 because it's weatherproofed. It has a eyepiece, whereas the ZV-E10 doesn't. So if you're going to use it as sort of a hybrid camera to take pictures, also, and it's got a magnesium body instead of a plastic body that you're getting in the ZV-E10. So those are things that we kind of recommend.
I actually used that eyepiece this weekend when I was playing around with it outside. It was too bright, so it does help. But I am going to be that guy who's looking to... I have the A5100 as my original camera. That's kind of a side camera. But John and I talk. I'm going to get the Z1 or the ZV-10. I haven't decided. I'm going to look at prices around maybe Black Friday and see which one's going to fit my my budget and my visions better. But either one are going to serve me fine. Either one would be fine.
So I was horrible in English, and I'm really bad at grammar. And so it was like, I think I was forced to learn my prepositions, and it was a rhyming kind of thing. And this is the only way I know how to do it, is to blurt out those 18 prepositions in like 10 seconds.
It made you feel so smart, though, to do that, right?
No,
it just
I'm
made
horrible.
you feel good.
Listen, you're looking at probably the most, I don't know. It took me an extra year to get out of high school. That's how
That's just because you couldn't find the exit. You couldn't read the exit.
High school.
He was looking for the exit. He couldn't read exit, so he kept going into like the janitor's closet. I think you spent 3 months in the janitor's closet because you couldn't figure out how to get there. That's sad.
I'll tell you a story. I told you the story about how I broke through the door, right, and went out the window. Did you hear about that? No. I'll tell you in a second. I don't even know what refraction means. I think it means light bouncing, at least, right? It just sounds right. You know what it means.
It's like prism splitting off, and right, like refraction.
Yeah.
It means refraction
of light. Right, exactly. Something like that.
There, I solved it. It means refraction.
Something like that. But here's the thing. I was in 5 days. Okay, you're gonna want to know why I was in 5 days in suspension, right?
Yeah, everybody
in
sit
school
back.
suspension. Okay, so here it is. I'll tell you quickly. One day, I cut school with 5 or 6 of my friends. We were in a car. We went to breakfast. We saw our friend's mom driving to work on the same highway. We ducked down, whatever. We went to breakfast. It was someone. I was like a sophomore, and everyone else was a senior, and there was one freshman, Brian Schaefer.
But you were supposed to be a senior.
And no, I was a sophomore at that time.
I know.
And then so we decided, one person decided, hey, let's go in a different town school and walk around when the school's on. So we went into the school and we got caught and we had to go to the principal's office and, the police came, blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden I got 5 days of in-school suspension and I got 5 detentions because they don't give you out of school. They make you sit in a little room all day and in that little room. So I went Monday through Friday in an in-school suspension, right? Friday comes, 3 o'clock, the bell rings. I fly out of there. I run down the stairs. I go to bump the door open with my shoulder, and it was one of those windows with the metal screen inside it, the like whatever stuff, the metal.
Oh, yeah.
I went through the window, outside, hung from my waist in the door, and smashed the whole window. I jump back. I get out. I start walking outside, and a teacher stopped me and was like, "John, did you just go through that window?" And I was like, "Oh, that one." And it was like blood dripping down my elbow.
Sure.
I had the glass chips in my eyes right here. She's like, so yeah. So I had to pay for the window on top of it.
And
all,
John, I had this vision that the hole was your body shape. Like when you went through, so you're the only one who would fit through the hole. So it's like the glove fits, you got to quit kind of thing, or it doesn't fit. So they kind of put you in and out of the hole to see, and you had to do like this.
Yeah, was that? Here's the evidence. Was that really John or not? Yeah,
well, John fit through the hole.
But yeah,
it matches up his shape.
And I know what? To this day, I know that window cost $42.66.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
Who is going to play you in Breakfast Club 2?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be...
I was a little out of control
what's his name?
school.
Bruce Willis. I think Bruce Willis could still play you in... He's a little older, but he's a lot older, but he could play you in he could play the adult version of you in Breakfast Club 2.
Breakfast Club 2. Brian's talking about refraction.
Well, because it
still.
sounds like Breakfast Club you were in. I just thought, it's the same thing for all you old people.
I was
and of course, Brian is like that guy. He's like at the party where everybody's like, "Oh, we're just having fun with la la la," and Brian walks in, and he just lays out this very like business-like answer to this question.
Yeah, I don't even know what it means. I'm still lost on that.
Well, I mean, let's read it out loud. Refraction in photography typically talks about overstopping down your lens, like. Overstopping. I've already lost. Like F22. So that would be an over. That he means stepping down. Overstepping down. Overstopping
it
down.
Stops.
Like,
there stops.
Do you want to say it 4 more times? And
it stops. It's not stepping. Stop. It stops.
Like F22. Yeah, you're killing me.
These are stops.
Which causes the image to get softer. There's no way to save this definition. It's over our heads anyway. Maybe Brian should draw a picture for us. A stick figure picture of you falling out a window while you're refracting. Was that what it was? Were you refracting through a window? Maybe that's what you were doing.
Put it this way. I think it has something to do with... I forgot what I was going to say. Whatever. I don't care.
It's the concussion. It's the concussion from you refracting through a window.
Pink Floyd. It has something to do with a Pink Floyd cover. That's a prism. But did I understand you say you cut a school to go to another school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Yeah. And
you were not a smart child.
There was a guy named Dave Sondemeyer. He was the senior who was driving the car and stuffed us all in there. And I remember him coming into the principal's office and getting us.
You just doxed him.
Did these kids belong with you? And like, yeah. And so we drove home. And you know what movie we all watched when we got back to my friend's house? We watched the movie Rad. Do you remember that movie?
Oh my God, I remember that movie. Yeah. Oh my God, I honestly couldn't tell you what it was about, but I remember the name.
It was a BMX movie about BMX biking.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So that's what we did. We watched Rad, and then we got in trouble. But the funny thing is because I started lifting in 8th grade weights, and so by my freshman year, I was like 205 pounds, I'd say, and I could probably, I don't know, I think I was bench pressing like 225 at the time.
I've never weighed 205 in my life. Jesus.
Yeah. Well. Right. So then I remember the principal saying, "You guys don't take steroids. You're not taking steroids, are you?" I remember him asking us that. And they're like, "Yeah, because it shrinks your, whatever." That's what he said. That's what he told us, the principal of another school.
It shrinks your future.
Yeah.
I love the creative lady. Yes, I would have. Ferris Bueller's Day Off would have been a perfect movie around that time.
Yeah.
To watch. And
yeah,
when you're skipping school, why wouldn't you watch the Ferris Bueller's Day Off? That's a perfect one.
I think this was before Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's why, because I did this, freshman year would be 1986. When was Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Oh, no, I think, wasn't Ferris around 84 to 85?
Maybe you're right.
Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I kind of think it might have been.
I don't know. We have to check that. If anybody wants to check Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Somebody check the Google machine.
And we'll see what that is. And
yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, these are bringing it back. Look at the professor look.
We're crazy.
Go nerd. 1986, she says.
Aunt Becky was in Rad? Who's Aunt Becky?
It's someone from a movie. Aunt Becky was...
No way.
Was
Guys,
Aunt Becky...
everybody's looking it up. Look. 86.
1986.
86.
Oh, that was good. Good call. So it was 86.
No, I said this is when I did this in 1986. Same year as Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I did this in before December of... No, it was after, right? So I think it was something like May of 1986 I did this. So I don't know when Ferris Bueller came out, but
it's fun to watch you do math. It's like watching
close.
hamsters have a seizure.
Math I'm good at.
Yeah, sure?
Everyone can use Google. I used Bing, so it took longer for me for the results.
That's true. Yeah.
Right.
Just pulling up Bing takes it longer. You just pull up Edge, which is a little faster than it used to be, but yeah. Yeah, Lori Loughlin, Aunt Becky. I was trying to think of the show. They always say Aunt Becky. You remember from the it's from the Golden Gate Bridge. What's the family in San Francisco? Come on, I'm getting old.
Oh, wait, that's her family
Stamos
owned.
and all those guys. No. Full House.
Oh,
Jeez,
you're talking about Full House.
I didn't
That
watch
was John
the show,
Stamos' wife? Girlfriend?
And wife eventually. Then they had twins, I think, on the show or something, because, I had to do that. I remember that for some reason.
Okay.
My sisters were into that show.
Aunt Becky.
I
was thinking of a rap dance.
My sisters made me watch that show.
Becky, she's got such a big... That's what I was thinking.
I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know
That's
what
a rap
about.
song. Baby's Got Back.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I cannot lie.
Code word for that song is Full House. Baby's Got Back. Baby's Got Back.
That is so wrong in so many ways.
So everybody knows. I think my wife is a fan of Full House for sure also. So
Well, she nailed it. Todd nailed it too, though, pretty quick.
yeah, Todd knew his Full House.
And then Lori went on to the infamous buy her kids into UCLA routine, and that didn't work out so well. But, it happens.
That happens.
She spent a couple minutes in prison. You don't, what do you, what? You don't know that? You didn't hear
Her?
that? Yeah, she ended up spending some time in the pen.
Aunt Becky?
She paid to get her daughters into at least one into a university.
That's the same
remember?
lady.
Well, they're both named Lori Loughlin.
Yeah, but
So
you have
yeah,
to
it's the same
understand,
lady.
I don't follow any of these people. Like, I don't know anybody famous. I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody in TV. I don't know, ask my wife. I don't know anybody's names.
Danielle, does he know anybody's names?
I
had to ask. You said
I'm
ask.
lucky if I remember my own name. I don't care about these people.
Yeah.
I don't care about these people. They mean
Your
nothing to me.
ambivalence is noted for everybody that's famous. Got it. Yeah. It all comes together for John.
That's it.
Oh, she knows you so well.
I don't even know what that means.
I do.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's just, I don't know.
Anyways,
You're going to find out after the show because she's probably got a few words to say to you in the follow-up.
No. No one's using my computer
she's cool.
anymore. That's it. Done with
She's
it.
fine with it because she's clearly getting a cool Mac Mini. Yeah, so
Right.
Lori paid, I'm reading this. Lori paid, I love how quick this is, $100,000 to get her daughter. It was USC, I said USCLA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
and her daughter never rode a day in her life, basically. And then, yeah, you can't do that, apparently. You can't pay to have your kids step in front.
That's not a good thing to do.
But, no, but you know, the worst part is, and I do know this, which is sad, but I do have a wife who watches Hallmark. And apparently, she was on a big show on Hallmark, don't know what it was. And she lost that job on Hallmark because she had to go, she had this whole thing go down. So she paid the consequences for her actions. So it's good, I guess.
Well,
She's going to be back on the show.
she would have never been caught if...
No.
Right. So she
Oh.
paid consequences because she got caught.
Yeah, one calls the heart. That's Todd, you really... your wife watches Hallmark too?
I don't know. Todd says, paid a few $100,000 to get her daughter a rowing scholarship at
Yep.
USC. Oh,
She's using those Full House residuals to get a little leg up at USC, apparently. But my kid's lucky if you're going to get a coupon over to Pizza Hut. I can't. That's about the best I can do for... oh, no. Todd got hacked by Nightbot. Sorry.
did he? That Nightbot is tough, dude. I'm telling you. Thank God.
Nightbot is not letting up.
Shuts down everybody.
Yeah.
Todd,
Yeah.
stop spamming.
No. Stop spamming symbols. Warning, warning.
I'm going to put that
I
up.
wish you would
That's
have a-
hilarious.
I
Look at
wish
that.
It is.
Stop spamming symbols.
You're welcome.
I got to figure
That's
out
great.
this Nightbot. I got to calm this guy down. This guy's more high strung than me.
I wish Nightbot could have a voice and be like, danger, danger, Will. Danger, danger, John.
Right?
Todd has stated too many spamming symbols. That'd be
That's
kind of cool if we
hilarious.
got voices. It is almost time for the call.
she has a good point. It's almost time for Hallmark movies coming up. So
It's bizarre. I think they start them almost like in September, for sure October. But they might even do it in September. I think they'll have the one Halloween one. They're like, we're done, and then they push right into Christmas.
yeah,
That's amazing.
I don't
this
watch
show,
any of
this
those
show goes in a lot of directions. Hallmark, Lori Loughlin. It's been fun.
yeah.
I enjoy it.
Because no one cares about cameras anymore. Obviously, no one cares.
Well, I mean, we do care. We took a sidestep. You were the one talking about how you ran through a window and you can't read, and all of a sudden we're the problem. Don't think so.
No one wants to know anything about cameras. No one cares.
Sean starts pounding on the
About-
table.
This is the ZV1
I want-
right here. I'm on.
So Sammy said he's getting a ZE or EZ, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, I think
He's getting one.
Sammy's
He's-
getting it, and a few
got, like,
other
every
people.
camera.
But it's like I mean, it can't be exciting to get it. I mean, it's all the same stuff. It's
The problem, yeah, when that came
not
out,
like-
don't get me wrong. I was bothering Brian every morning. Hey, do you know, Brian, when that new camera's coming out? Because I was trying to buy something, but then it came out, and I'm like, I got to have it because everybody's going to have it. And I looked into it. I'm like, I'm not sure that's really going to be the best situation for me. And it's really good to let some cooling off period happen, I think, on these purchases and not get caught up into the next best thing.
yeah, but is it the next best thing?
Christmas period. I know. We can have the discussion 1 second. We're talking about Hallmark. I was reading that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Mikey had something to say.
Not this year.
They're doing
They're doing-
year-round Christmas movies. I love that his. You should have put quotes on that, Mikey.
His brother.
My brother watches.
what he says.
Yeah. Well, my wife watches Hallmark. So.
That's what he says. But I tell you, if you want to
I
know
wanted-
anything
Go
about
ahead.
Christmas,
Yeah.
this is the guy's YouTube channel. Todd actually runs a podcast. Put your podcast up, Todd. Tell us the name
Yeah,
of it.
put it up there.
And where we can find it. And he does this, and he ramps up in October. He said, and he does everything about Christmas, everything that he spends like 3
I have some
solid
people.
months.
I know some people who just love that. I got to dump his channel. So I think I might be sub, but I don't know if I'm not. I got to because I have some people who are like totally year-round Christmas tree type people, and they would love to check him out. So I need to find his channel and get them hooked up. And you know what? They're out of my price range, but I keep going with this Da Vinci dived in as I am. I would feel like the black magic and everything would be such a great idea, but I wouldn't probably It wouldn't be good for
It's
me.
not for me, but I love the thought of it. It's just that I'm not cinematic like that.
Yeah. What's it run? What are they going for, Brian? Like
he
a good
he
one.
wants to get the 6K from what he said, so that's some money.
Was it the 6K or the 8K or the 10K?
He
What
wants
the
the
hell
6K.
6? Okay.
That's what he said.
I'd be careful. I mean, it's just too much. Yeah, you guys are going to Best Buy tomorrow.
No way, I'm not going there.
If I don't find out after all of this rigmarole that you didn't follow through and get the laptop to solve the problem, then this kind of becomes your fault.
Well, it's either a laptop or a Mac M1, but it's probably going to be a laptop because that just makes sense, I think.
It does make sense, honestly. It does make sense.
This
I
way,
think. I mean, I get the feeling that I don't know your wife, but I feel like that Danielle would like to kind of be mobile.
she doesn't like to be mobile.
Really?
No, she.
Okay.
It
Well,
would
like I
just
said,
be
I don't know
useful.
her well enough. We now know that she does not like to be
She
mobile.
doesn't
It's
like
good
to
to know.
be
So
mobile.
that's not something I usually hear about a spouse. Yeah, I love my husband, but he just doesn't like to be mobile.
So Todd's saying Christmas
Clatter on
Clatter on YouTube and all the podcast apps. So there you go. So it's called Christmas
sweet.
Clatter.
Clatter. I like the name. I really
Yeah.
do. That's unique, actually, and it's perfect, isn't it? The clatter. I just love that. That's brilliantly done. As a marketing person, I think that's so spot on, man.
Now he can you go check that
that's
stuff
great.
out.
Christmas
But
clatter.
so Brian's saying the Pro is $2,500. Yeah, and then
Dude, I'll never make that money back.
Brian likes that though because then he could just go. He's going to use manual focus all the time, and that's kind of like what he wants. It's like
Yeah, but then I could argue that Brian could use an $800 camera, and he has enough talent to make it look as good. So
Well, he wants it to do like this, right? He wants to control it over HDMI with the ATEM, and then you could do everything in there with it. It is really cool how all that stuff
It is
works
true.
out together.
yeah. They're just too expensive. But every time I look at what they can do and how they integrate nice with DaVinci, I go, oh, I love that. But it's just too much out of my purview. Like it wouldn't do me any good. I need other things like a Stream Deck.
So then Callie comes back in groom room, and he says, "Which laptop would you recommend?" Like, here's the thing. That,
It was the second time he asked that question, by the way, because
Oh,
he was
is it?
waiting for an answer like an hour ago.
he wants
It's okay.
a laptop.
You got it.
Okay. So
Yeah, but I wanted to know a Mac or PC. That was a question I was going to ask. Like, do you
Right.
want? Is it a Mac or
Right.
PC?
and so
I'm
that's
gonna put,
one
I'm going to
thing.
put 80% a PC, a Mac. I don't think he's going to be a Mac guy.
You think it's going to be a Mac?
I think he's going to be a Mac guy.
Yes. I mean, what's
I could be wrong. And I don't
so
want to
that's
like.
not too complicated, then, is it, to figure out what they, get-
Then maybe you're right. Maybe because it's a question, it's a PC.
I mean,
Because
PC,
of Mac right now.
I think you just got to be careful with not spending too much money right this second because everything's bumped up a few $100s with the needs of everyone that's out there, and so it's kind of a
Is
tough
he editing
question.
a lot? Is he
And
going to
here's
do
the
a lot of
main-
editing? What's your editor? Are you running all of your? I'm assuming he's going to run maybe all of his interfaces through there and his cameras. I guess.
At a minimum, he should be wanting to get something if he's going to get it to run his YouTube channel and to be able to fast forward into everything. He's got to get something with a newer video card, something that can handle,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
at a minimum, some pretty heavy duty stuff. So if it's like
I'm
even
running
a-
an RTX 2070, and that thing chops through pretty good on a laptop. But yeah, you're right. You want something really pumpy. Yeah.
So even if he gets like a 10th or 11th generation Intel processor or a Ryzen 5, he wants at least a RTX 2060 graphics card in there. And so it's kind of tough to find things that are really cheap.
They're
that
so
are gonna be
expensive.
cost effective right now.
I got mine
They're out
about
there.
16 months ago, and it is an RTX 2070. But I now you look at the prices, and you're like, oh my god, what's going on?
Yeah. If you're looking for
They
something
should
like
be coming
that,
down, but
the minimum I think that you'll end up spending is around $1,800 or $1,900 for something that's going to have enough RAM, a good video card, a on the faster side, hard drive with a good size hard drive. With all those factors, I think you're going to be coming into that cost about for something decent.
yeah, he's saying that it'd be for YouTube, but I was just like trying to drill down. Like, I'm assuming he's going to be doing editing. Maybe music. He seems like he's a music guy because he's a cool drummer, so he's got to be smart. So yeah, I'm just curious to what depth he would be taking it to.
You want it to be able to do everything that he needs it to do, even if he's not thinking of it. Because the worst thing you do is to spend something like, $8,000 or $9,000 on something, and then you find that you're stuck because you have a 1650 graphics card that really leaves you, at the minimum.
So, and I'm in the same position, Callie. I'm just going to jump down to the end where he's saying he's going to do editing for sure.
Right.
And I am too, and I use DaVinci, and I pretty much load in. And now, for my case, if we're using DaVinci, I'm going to have to upgrade. Really, to do it right, then you got to upgrade to the paid studio version of DaVinci to leverage the GPU that you're paying all that lovely money for, because otherwise you're not going to get that as well. So, but yeah. Okay, so I think we're figuring it out.
Hey guys, if this happens to you, don't be upset. This is it's a little bit of Nightbot is being a real idiot tonight, and it's overdone. So I apologize.
I just want to tell you, if you're angry about Nightbot, it's at Brian Paul. Find him. No, I'm just kidding. He's moderating. I'm just kidding. We love Brian, but yeah, Nightbot is being a complete.
Yeah, I don't remember it being that harsh last time. I'm gonna have to go check.
It might be. We have some people that are just being completely aggressive here. Maybe you people are the problem.
Maybe.
Probably not. Probably not.
We got. So he's gonna be using it for pretty much everything. If you
like
want, I could go take a look at a few things and suggest to you what I wouldn't, as a minimum, what I would spend to get something. I'll send it to you, and you let me know what you think. But I've looked at a few of these things lately for myself and for other friends, and it's going to end up being that realm, because the last thing you want to do is have to upgrade your memory right away, or you bought an undersized hard drive and you have to get external hard drives. And so you want to have like minimum things. And because no one wants
the SSD C drive, you want an external that doesn't necessarily need to be an SSD drive, but if you can get it cheap enough, that's the way to go. Just to leverage that as well.
You want a minimum of 512 for memory, you want a gig for hard drive space. You want 16 gigs of RAM as a minimum.
Yep.
And so stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll send you a few things. You let me know what you think about them, and we could talk about them a little bit.
Well, then you start getting into ports and all that nonsense. But most things today in that level are going to have defined ports.
Yeah, that's
it's
another
just going to come down to overheating. That's the thing that I ran into. Is like you got to check. That's why I ended up with Lenovo here, which I love, and it's quiet and it has a ton of control on fan speed, based on what type of production level you're going to be doing, and it just keeps it. You got to be cool, right? So fans are important, but then you can't have loud fans because mics pick them up.
It's tough because it's like you don't want to go looking for a gaming laptop, but a lot of times those laptops usually have what you need overall. And so it's not necessarily you want the like little fatty colors, like, oh, this is a great color. You want the performance out of it. And so I'll
ask another one though I think is very important. There's two other questions, Callie, on this purchase. One would be, is there a particular size monitor that it's a deal breaker? In other words, I think if you're smart, you're better settling at the 15-inch, just because that's going to be probably the best trade-off of cost and other things you can get and mobility. That's my belief. As somebody who used to have 17-inch laptops, they're not great to have around, to be honest with you. And you spend so much money, at least $200, maybe $300 or more, to get that extra couple inches when you're end up going to use an external monitor most of the time for this stuff anyway, that from my standpoint, I wouldn't do it. The other question is, do you need a numpad? Because a lot of the keyboards nowadays aren't coming with numpads, and do you need them backlit? For me, backlit keyboards on a laptop or deal, I need backlit.
You need that, yeah. Keyboard. I think most people will say that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so silly not to, but so many don't, and that's where it starts to get kind of weird. I mean, it sounds silly to ask those questions, but I think if I was looking, I'd want to know the monitor size. I'd want to know if you need a numpad, because you can really cut off some price there if you don't need that. And then, of course, backlit. I'm guessing you'd want that. So let's assume he wants backlit because that's silly.
Right.
I want him to
I mean,
have backlit keys.
he's absolutely right, is that I find out a lot of times most people usually want like the 15-inch round monitor size because it's so much more mobile a lot of times. And it's not always the people that want like a 17. And because if you're going to use it for home, most people are going to end up buying, like JA said, they're going to end up buying a 24 or a 27-inch monitor that they'll just hook their laptop up to all the time. And so that would be to be really mobile, the 15 inch is usually the way to go. And then also, we got flash in the pan here. He's saying, I use external hard drive for all my video files. I have the one.
I do too.
Yeah, 1 terabyte. And so here's the thing, right? Is
SanDisk,
have that external and then throw all your, your videos onto that and keep your main
Can I show you something?
Drive free.
You're like, I don't know. I can't do it. It's right here, but I don't think I can show you. Oh, I could step my camera down.
I can make you bigger if it helps.
No, it's not bigger. It's just that this is going to probably get weird here for a second because I can't really pick up my.
You think this is the first time it's got weird here?
So it's got, I got Velcroed my external on here.
Oh yeah, I see it
on my laptop. Yeah, and then it's plugged in so I can move it around and take it places. I can do a better job next time. I'll put up a second camera, but I love that. It works out great for my videos. I put those on there, and then long term, when I'm not working on them, I move them to the NAS or whatever. But also the 17-inch, to be honest with you too, they kind of drain the batteries a little bit deeper too, so quicker. So that can shorten your life because they got to power that monitor if you're on battery.
They're heavy.
I don't find them to be as useful.
Yeah, a 15 like
they're
it's
heavy,
usually ends up being like a 15.6ish. Ends up being like the right size for most people.
Well, and also, like when I was looking around, the nit values of the monitors are so important, and the Lenovo was at the highest number. There are others have now, but this nit on here is 500. 300 is considered pretty good.
Explain to him what that means. As far as
I mean, the nit, I don't know. Well, the nit's going to really allow you to see in a lot of lighting, especially outside. So if I'm outside, you know how you're outside and you're like, I can't see anything. I'm full of brightness. It drives me crazy. Yes. The higher that nit is, you can just see clearly. I can take this computer outside and work in the sun, and I'm just shocked. And I had a choice between not spending the extra couple $100 and some things on the 300. I'm like, no, I'm so glad I did. As somebody who's mobile, I've found that that choice really saved me a couple times. So.
And I'm kind of in the same boat as Brian. I don't have to have the newest stuff though, but then I usually spend a little bit more to get the things I want because I definitely
kind of have to, don't you?
Yeah, because I'm the same way. I'm keeping it for 10 years.
Yeah, me too. And it's different with desktops. There's a lot of ways to upgrade those, but you can pull out a hard drive, and but why? You're generally going to want that stuff for what we do anyway. So those are your basics, really. The RAM is kind of 16. You really kind of need it to do. So then it comes down to other things, right? So I'm with you. Overspend a little bit, get the right graphics card, get the right fan system, whatever, monitor, and get that overspend on that and then keep it. These things will run forever if you maintain them and get lucky.
Yeah, and I'm in the same boat. Is that I basically just use a laptop when I'm traveling or doing anything mobile.
I'm using it for everything.
Yeah, I love having a desktop. It just does everything I want, and they tend to be more powerful all the way around because the laptops always are throttling back because of usually heat issues. So
not mine.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a good one. That's where
I used to spend a couple $1,000 to get that, and I did, but it will last me a long time. And I wouldn't say I would suggest that for people. It's just that for what I was doing already at the time and what I'm doing now, I'm really glad that I spent the money. And John's not wrong. I think down the road, what I'll probably do is build a desktop. Once the studio's done and I have that money they're not putting into tripods, I'll build a desktop to spec, and that'll be a lot of fun at that point.
Dang, that would be a lot of fun.
I will, yeah.
A desktop?
I'll build one together. We should do one. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
That would be awesome. I love doing that.
Yeah.
I love building desktops.
Yeah, I'd love to bring you in on that. I always enjoy it, but I think it would be a fun group project. And I say group, I mean you and I.
Melanie, don't be upset at a Nightbot. Nightbot is out of control tonight, and it's stopping everybody from spamming. And they're not, even though they're not spamming. But
So is that her message, justice delivered, or is that what Nightbot's saying?
I don't know. I saw, yeah, because it's got 3 of these symbols in a row. It says stop spamming with the symbols. It's so crazy. It cracks me up.
It's like having a helicopter parent.
God.
Yeah.
You're like the third
so
or
funny.
fourth person it's got. So I gotta pedal back on that a little bit, and then it will be a lot better.
Yeah.
But I'm working on it, so don't be upset about that. And I love all your pictures that I've seen you taking in Colorado, in New York, and everything. So there's some beautiful pictures that you have up, and I've enjoyed them. So
We're in Colorado. We're in
Nightbot is
Colorado.
telling me justice delivered. Slap.
That's what it says. Justice delivered.
Yeah.
So it's
crazy.
aggressive. Yeah.
And what happens
Back
if
and forward.
he's right? What happens if the mods are spamming? Jeez.
Well, then it's just chaos. It's
Right.
raining cats and dogs and doing all sorts of goofy things.
So, how has Florida been treating you with the weather? Because yesterday we had a little warning. I was out in Pennsylvania for a little vacay, and then we got hammered with a tornado warning, and then we had a close call of a tornado a few blocks away in New Jersey here. The last time I remember a tornado was in my grandmother's town of Ringwood, and it went down this gully and actually tore off the roof of a house.
Yeah.
And that is a rarity to be in New Jersey to actually have a tornado touchdown. So
Really? We get them like every other day. I've been in a house that had a roof ripped off. That was fun. As a kid.
Really?
Yep. I went
Does
down
it
the
sound
block
like everybody
and
says? Does it sound like a freight train?
I've been through. I've had 3 tornadoes nip a house. Honestly, and it sounds exactly like a train, and it's absolutely terrifying. It's like end of times kind of stuff to be swept up into one of that deal. I always.
There's 2 things
it.
that I have in my house is a fire ladder to get off the second floor of
Brilliant. Yep.
Yeah. And the other thing is I have a tornado like thing of where we're going. So my wife was like, where
Yep,
are we going to
a
go?
plan.
Are we going to go in the closet downstairs? And I said, no, I'm actually going to go. We're going to go out to the garage and in underneath the main staircase that comes into the house. And
Really? Don't you have a basement?
No, I'm on a bi-level. Bi-levels don't have basements.
Oh, that's why. But it seems. Do you have a stairs on and down in the tri-level you could get under? 'Cause
Well,
that would be
that's
safer.
exactly what I like. The staircase that comes up into the house, then goes right into the house.
Okay.
The first 2 steps, I can get
Yeah.
right under there, and that's the safest,
That's
best
the way to
place
do
to
it.
go.
Yeah. For us, that's what we go. We come down in the basement, go back underneath. Another the stairs is going to be your best spot. Absolutely, for many reasons, but that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
And I've been down here quite a bit over the years, so it's
crazy.
pretty scary stuff. Although that storm we had with the 80-mile-an-hour winds was just as bad.
That was
pretty
nuts.
spooky.
I thought I thought I might be dealing with that tonight, but everything's pretty chill now. here.
Calm down. The
yeah.
weather's really goofy, right, for everybody this time of year. We all have our things, and I would imagine. I mean, it's been soupy, swampy here. Humidity. I imagine Florida right now. It's just an absolute swamp fest, huh?
Yeah, my sister-in-law just came back from a week in Florida, but they had a good time because they were in the water every day, and so it wasn't bad. But
Hey, Melon, you ever shot around like Estes Park or anything like that? I was just curious. I know Estes Park in Colorado is pretty cool.
She
Anyway.
said that she didn't get the tropical storm in Tampa though, so that's good news, obviously.
That's right. I did catch it, a little bit of that. Yep.
And
Storage.
yeah, where's that? Woodbridge
I don't know.
yesterday. Wait,
I was in
New
Woodbridge
Jersey?
yesterday.
You're in
Another New
Jersey?
Jersey person? My goodness.
No.
Everybody's on your time zone. That's crazy. You must have like 15 people we know that's in New Jersey.
Wow, I want to know. Wow, yeah, he is. Get out.
Isn't that crazy?
That's awesome,
that's fun.
dude. That's awesome. We're gonna have to.
Well, it's not that awesome.
We're gonna have to get together when we get the New Jersey YouTubers together and Pennsylvania. We'll have to get together and.
I see how that's going down. I see how that's going down. Fine. Is that's what you're doing? Just only New Jersey and maybe
That's-
Pennsylvania, which you ripped on for like a day and a half. Okay.
No, those guys are coming out. He's in Florida in Merritt Island. So that's obviously like where, like off of the West Coast side, Merritt Island, right? It's got to be not far from like Clearwater area, I would say. Oh, what is he saying here? I live in PA, but I had to travel yesterday. Okay. All right. So you're out in PA and you came into Woodridge. Yeah. So that's about, gosh, max an hour for me away. So
Yeah, well, just saying, you criticized Pennsylvania the other day, so whatever.
I love Pennsylvania. No, I have nothing against it. I don't have nothing against
I know,
Pennsylvania.
man. We're just playing.
So, okay. So it says that they filmed an episode for my series with Lives in Merritt Island.
Well, now I know what now
She
I
did
need to know what the
Lives in
series
Merritt
is.
Island. Yeah. Filmed
Everyone
an
should
episode for my series.
That's right.
Yeah, it's the same with New Jersey, though. People always call this like the armpit of whatever. I don't know. Listen, New Jersey is a peninsula. Don't forget
unfair.
that.
That's unfair. States are too big to say what, I mean, come on. New Jersey's beautiful. It's got a lot of
Yeah, well, people don't. They
Beautiful
don't realize
stuff.
it. It's kind of weird, because they only see.
Well,
like
if you
by the
fly into Newark Airport,
Right.
you think, "Oh my God, this is New Jersey. This is all New Jersey." No, it's not. It's not.
Right. No problem, bro. You're not hijacking anything. We're just chatting.
If you were
it up.
hijacking Moni, Nightbot would have taken you out to the woodshed. You're fine. You're doing good.
It's all right. No, it made sense. I was just trying to figure if it was lives or whether it was something to do with. I'm not familiar with that series that you're doing. That's why I was kind of like looking confused, I guess.
Oh, okay. For a series about Korea. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't read
I
ahead
think it's-
before it
that's
even
interesting.
comes up. Jesus.
I'm not reading behind you.
Freak.
I'm reading behind you. I'm reading ones you skipped over.
No, right here. You read this one. I heard you.
I didn't see that
I'm
one.
filming
I
an
didn't see that
episode
one.
for a series about creatives, and my sister's mother-in-law does quilting and lives in okay, cool. That's really cool.
I don't know. I don't know Merritt Island. That's interesting. I don't know Florida that well. I've only been to like Boca Raton
Well,
and Disney World. So
The islands are only on the west side, so it's got to be over like where Sanibel Island is, and there's a few other islands right there. So I would imagine
Sure.
that it's all pretty much close
Okay.
over by, between Tampa and Clearwater or Port Newport
Yeah.
Richey or something like that. So
man, Tampa's like supposedly the next upcoming deal. Like it's really becoming like the better than Miami kind of thing. I think everybody needed to know that on Coffee Talking Tech.
it will be released soon. Let us know. Yeah, keep us informed,
Yeah.
and so we do know, and we can check out exactly what you've
Yeah.
been up to. So it'll be interesting to see.
Just correcting you.
Get Out. How many times can I be wrong about this? Really, it's actually over on the east side. I'm so pondering where that would be.
It's okay, man. You came in, all handicapped mentally.
It has to
tonight.
be
You're
really
fine.
south. Could be. So I'll find out. I like geography. That's why I'm always thinking. I love geography.
You're so good at it.
Sometimes. Not this time.
You knew where Beirut was. We're good.
See, what's really funny is people are saying Tampa's definitely up and coming. I remember them
is.
saying this 25 years ago, 30 years ago.
I don't remember that.
And it was so funny because I remember when they built the John Henry Parkway, and Orlando was just getting built up, and Cocoa Beach, everybody's going out to Cocoa Beach, and it was like
Aging yourself.
It was like the popular, thing for everybody to move down to Orlando. My best friends.
You remember?
moved
Do you remember? Did you remember Miami Vice?
there. Heck yeah. That was no one missed Miami Vice, bro. Nobody.
Did you have someone you dressed up with so you guys
No.
could be the Miami Vice?
Tubbs and Crockett.
That's cute. Yep, Tubbs and
No.
Crockett.
I never would dress up like that. And the other thing is that I've never had a pair of parachute pants. No way.
What about Zubas?
Parachute pants is not me. You'll never catch me in a photo. Oh wait, I'm wrong. I had parachute pants. I'm thinking of those 1Z Cavaricis. You know what I'm talking about
He's
now?
had to backtrack on everything. He's like a politician. He has literally had to be like, blah, 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 blah. Oh yeah, skeleton in the closet.
Wait
Here
a
come the
second.
parachute
I
pants.
forgot I had parachute pants. I'm talking about those Z Cavaricis. I never had a pair of Z Cavaricis.
I don't
No
know what
way.
those are. What
They're
are those?
They were like these popular pants in like 85 to 87 or 89, and I don't know. They're called Z Cavaricis, and they were like, they were just like, they were fatty, and I can't. Look them up. I never had a pair.
Are those the Zubas that I was talking about? They used to call them Zubas, and they had like the Velcro, and you kind of Velcro the pockets, and they kind of had a little poof to them, and the NFL had them for a couple of years. They were wearing them all the time on the side.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. No, that's like early 90s, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I don't know what pants you're talking about. I'm not cool enough to know.
It was like a New York, New Jersey, I guess East Coast. Maybe it was East Coast thing, but they were really popular. But it's not like me. I could never wear those. And plus, you have to be like 50 to even remember those. You know.
Hey, I got a tech question for you. We bought these tripods.
I'm gonna
try to bring it back here.
I'm avoiding Nightbot.
he's like you know how the Terminator was like hunting everybody. He's just trying to hide. Or is it the I'm thinking maybe the Matrix. Like Nightbot is Matrix, and the people in the whoever the ones.
The Nightbot's kicking butt and taking names, man.
Yeah.
There's
Can
no
touch
way.
this. Is that the pants? Is that the pants we're talking about? Those are parachute pants.
You can't touch this.
Yeah,
remember that song?
Paying for that. Yeah, I remember. It's Hammer Time.
It's Hammer Time.
He lost all of his money. He got poor.
But he got a lot of it back, didn't he?
I don't think so.
He didn't?
I don't think so. I don't know. I'll have to look it up on the G machine or Bing or something. You'll probably get like singing the song. You'll probably get a strike.
He knows that.
That'd be
He
funny.
knows. Oh, a song. Sammy knows that song.
Well, it's like 40 years before his time. So it's
Everybody knows that song, right?
Yeah, it's been on every commercials and stuff like that.
Hi, Lala. How you doing?
What are people using for quick releases for their cameras on tripods and such? I'm using the Ulanzi. It's got the side thing with the lock on it, and you pop it on and off. I really like it, and I like having a lock on it. It's been kind of cool. But I see Ulanzi has a new one out where you kind of slide it in from the back. It's got the grooves, and you slide it in. It looks pretty cool, and I was thinking about changing to that, and you could buy all the bases. That's my biggest beef. Is it hard to find the base so you can add it on a bunch of different things and not keep buying the plate or whatever you want to call it, or you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And there's actually like this new thing that came out last year. It's a really cool setup where like it goes in and clicks from the top instead of like sliding from the side. But
that's what I have for the Ulanzi one.
You do?
I do like it, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's tons of them out there, and I know Brian's dropping some things, but
Yep.
You know, when I was looking at him, Ulanzi's got some pretty good reviews. The prices are competitive, but I think what he's saying is it's more cost effective, because I think the problem with the Ulanzi ones that I have, look, we buy and put on our cameras, right? So we have 2 or 3 cameras. I've got like 10 different places I want to put it. I don't want to buy the pair just to keep doing it. And I think with what he's saying, maybe you can buy like
this is what I
plates,
bought.
maybe.
I bought exactly what Brian put up first here, the Arca Swiss. That's what I bought.
Yeah, I saw those. I was going to ask anybody what they thought of them.
I bought a few.
So
of
did you
those.
buy like did you buy the extra like things to click them to the tripods?
I bought like 1 or 2, but of course I have to match them up and find them again and stuff, because the reason I got them is because when I got these ball heads for like my cameras and stuff, I bought those because it was something that if I was going to take them on and off, I didn't want to struggle with anything. I wanted to be super easy. And also some of those Arca Swiss, they have smaller plates, so this way it can leave a little bit of room for the smaller cameras for the battery doors.
Well, okay, that's a great point, and I even see somebody else. I think Patrick put something in there that kind of caught my eye, was about the camera cages.
Yes,
which is my next purchase. I would like to get a camera cage for my 6400 with like the grip. They're a little weird to grip without the cage. I think a little too small.
This was first. It's funny because Moni Johnson's saying I had. Wait, Moni, how old are you again? Remind me, because I'm going to be 51. And so parachute pants were a thing in the mid-80s. So I just want to make sure because I forget. Parachute pants were fun.
I knew in the mid-80s I didn't want to look back and knew all that I wore those. So I just kind of stepped over that fad.
So Brian's saying that, and that's true. And then quickly, Sammy said this is his favorite.
What's a drop in? He's talking about the type when you drop in, or
yeah,
is that the what? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer the drop in, or do you prefer the ones that slide in and click?
Well, Arca Swiss makes both of them, but I mean, I think the new ones are the ones that are clicking. I haven't had them, but they look really cool, and I was like, they seem like even quicker because like you have to open up this thing,
right,
and then put the jaw in there. Where this like it seems like you could just push down, click, and it's like in.
Yeah, I do get frustrated sometimes on the drop-ins. They don't line up right away, and it's just kind of like it's dark, and you're trying to like fiddle around. It seems like the click-ins from the back slide might be a little bit easier to line up in the dark situation quicker. That's just, I don't know.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna have to check that out and see. And even
it's going to be my next purchase, so I need to know.
Moni says too. So I mean, a lot of people are buying definitely the same things.
Seems like the Arca Swiss is coming in.
Here's another one. So we've all bought the same. So, and
well,
here's
you
the
did,
thing.
but I need to know models.
Which ones? Yeah. Mine are a couple, like at least a year old, and I know they're not the new ones that click in. But here's the good point: is like even people say this over and over, and I agree with this. The ZV-1 is so small that unless you get a cage, it's almost like it will fall out of your hand small. It'll literally, there's no like the very small grip, and putting that cage on there that I got from actually Ulanzi is a U-Rig cage, and it was only like I think like $40 or $35.
It's 40. That's the one I think I'm going to get for mine.
I got it for 32 something on sale. But it was really good because it gives you that little grip and it gives you that offset for the battery that you definitely need to have a cage for. So for the ZV-1, if you know. Yeah,
and then that affords you some other mountable options, doesn't it? Doesn't that rig give you some other side mounts and other things?
Yep. Yeah, and it's just it's definitely, I just think the camera's so small that if you're going to handle it, my hands like a little something to grab onto.
And now I did see the other ones with the the expandable battery pack that you can do, and then you plop it in the bottom, and it's got a grip as well. So then what's nice about that is you got a bottom grip in this, and you can do some really nice controlled movements with it. It's also heavier, so it jitters less, and if you're going to hold it to try to do motion. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just kind of go that route. I don't know, but yeah, talking on my backside. But
wait, no, it's true. It's another factor. Like if you could put a handle on one of those when you're doing any kind of B-roll, or you're just going to want to walk around. If you could put like a handle on top of a cage or a grip on the side to steady yourself, I mean that's a big help. Because how are you going to do the handheld? You have a handheld and you're gripping it, you're going to shake more.
It's really uncomfortable right now to do it, I have to say,
so you can still push in from the back on the drop-ins. That's what he's saying. So I don't have one of those, so I'm taking.
I don't have that. Of course, Brian does, because that's Brian.
Brian's got all the new stuff.
He's got all the good stuff, man.
Yeah, all the new stuff.
Whoops!
Moni's 48, so he remembers that.
How do I do this? If I put this over by me, no, wait, that's not right. I still don't know VMix yet. I'm still trying to figure out VMix.
It's definitely a learning curve.
Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to move. Yeah, like I've got to move. I'm still on screen, right? Or is that page on screen?
No, you're still on screen.
What's everybody seeing? I'm still on screen. Okay.
Yes.
So I have a browser input. I have a browser input right now. And if I want to put it up, okay.
There you go.
There.
Nice job.
So thank you. This is the rig I was looking at then, right? It's a U-Rig.
Oh.
I don't know whose makes it though.
Okay, so because I have the one for the ZV-1 and it was less than this. So this is Ulanzi makes this. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just thought this might be a good one to have. Yeah. Yeah. For
so I like that.
$49, that's not bad.
You got that little strap too that you have that you could put on the side right there and get rid of those little clinky things on the 64.
Those jiggly stupid things. I can't stand that.
Yep.
Yeah, what's going on with that, man? Stop that.
Yeah, this looks pretty good.
What's this right here? No block battery. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks pretty nice.
So I think I'll look at all this. Yeah, I think I'm going to go this path.
I would.
Give me some options. Yeah, I'm going to do this. Yeah. You know what? I can spend the money that I didn't spend on that tripod. I take that savings, and I spend it right here.
All right, you gotta bring yourself back.
I'm working on it.
Indeed, Brian.
I'm working on it.
I
don't know how to do it yet.
How to be you. Kidding aside, I like this topic. Oh, you're back.
Yeah, I'm figuring it out. So I got to do. Oh, boo! I just got rid of my input. But yeah, so I know. I figured out how to get myself in and out. It takes a second to figure this little app out. It's just not.
Okay. This is not
so now I'm the only one up on
StreamYard.
screen.
This is not
StreamYard. Am I the only one up on screen? Just so I understand how this is playing out.
Yeah.
Am I the only one up? Okay. Because sometimes I look and I'm like, I think I'm the only one on the screen right now, but I couldn't tell. Do I need to put us both back, or I don't know how this works?
You don't put anything back.
You're doing
I'm in
that.
control.
This is like this cluster thing I've got going on. Okay.
Hi,
I got
Art.
it figured out.
Thanks for stopping in, man. Late to the party? Nah, you get here when you get here.
Nah.
We're just chilling. We're just chilling, having some fun.
I'll be honest with you. Is that Giga Art? Because I can't see anything. I only see myself. How come I only see myself? How come I can't see you and the stream on the left side?
I don't know. I don't know what you did.
Oh, now I do. So there wasn't Giga Art? It was somebody else?
Yeah. It's
Art. Here we go. Art.
You know
Okay,
Art.
okay.
You know Art.
Yeah, I was going to tell Art that Art wasn't late. We were embarrassingly early. That's a joke that died long before I could get it out of my mouth. So let's just move on. Small rig is one.
Small rig has one with 2 hot shoes on the top, and yeah. So check out the small rig too, though, because remember, like the 64, when you flip up, it's gonna get rid of the 1 hot shoe just by flipping that up, and so having 2 at the top could be helpful.
That's true.
And also, their small rig makes an L bracket that if you don't want to get the whole setup, the L bracket works pretty effective for the 6400 too. And then it gives you a hot shoe over on the top right side of the camera when you're behind it. So
okay, all right.
Because that would also not make it so heavy either. You know, if you just use an L bracket too.
Right.
Depending on what you want.
Yeah, I just get back to that grip thing, and yeah. Oh, they're all good ideas. That gives me something to play with as I look around. But I'm got to get some. I'm going to look at the Arca Swiss. Connectors for sure. Appreciate that, guys. Give me a little help there. That's awesome.
So what's funny is like I think my mom pauses the live sometimes when she's watching because like a half hour later she'll come in with a comment that doesn't match up of where we are. I don't, because it's live. I don't know if she knows, but it's like it's live, and so if you come in at a different time and stop it or pause it and come back, and then you make a comment, it looks kind of weird because you're like in a half hour behind. You know what I mean? So it says, she says, "Yes, I remember the tornado in Ringwood. The gully stayed destroyed for a long time." So, but yes.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, I don't like. I noticed that.
Don't bother me. I'm shopping a little bit. I'm just kind of looking quickly. I am just looking for a second. I'm here. I'm paying attention. I'm not being absolutely rude. A little bit rude, but you know, I'm here.
No, I'm thinking of. I don't know what I'm going to do. I really want to get my hands on that new camera. So I think I'm going to go into. I'm going to go into B&H Photo, and I'm going to go look at it. And I'm going to go decide whether or not I want to get my hands on it. I want to see how really plasticky it feels. You know, like, because I know the whole thing's plastic. So I just want to go in there and I want to go get my hands on it and really see what it feels like. And if it doesn't feel like something I'm really into, I'll see. But if I do keep that new the ZV-E10, if I ever decide to get it, it would be something that would pretty much just stay right in the studio all the time. But if I did get like a 6400, I like that it has the weather, you know, ceiling, and then I can go and get myself like an 18 to 135 or a 24 to 105 f4 Sony lens, and I can go shoot some sports stuff that my son does. And so those are some things that I've been thinking about in general too, with getting either a 6400 or the ZV-E10 for that matter. So what do you got here? You have the small rig.
I think this is the small rig that Brian was talking about for $39. Now it doesn't have the the handle on it, but it sounds I
Yeah.
think it just gets down to what you want to do with it. But I think if the other one's going to get in the way of things, and potentially, I don't want that either. So I have to. It is also cheaper here, so I might have to take a peek at this.
Read the reviews on both of them, because you know what caught me about the one that I looked at. It was for my M50, but the reason why I got the Ulanzi over the small rig was because it freed up the Wi-Fi button. Every other cage blocked the little button on the side that lets you hit the Wi-Fi button, which lets it activate the app that comes into my phone. And for that reason, I decided to go with this one, and everybody likes it too. Yeah. So you read everything.
I'll do that. I'll read everything, but those two give me great options, and I'll dump into the Arca Swiss because so the Swiss sounds like it would allow me to buy the actual base plates, extras maybe to put around, so I can just clip. That's what I want. I don't want this idea where I've got to take the thing, unscrew the thing, put it on a tripod, and clip it. What's the point of that? You know what I mean? That doesn't help me.
No, you want something that's useful in every device that you're taking in and out, and that's why, like, if you make everything uniform, that would definitely be the best thing you could do.
Yep.
So Callie's here. He's saying that he's heading to bed. He's got work in the AM. I have off tomorrow, so I fully understand. And usually during the week, I only get like about 2 minutes sleep anyway.
2, 3 minutes. Yeah, you might get 3 minutes sleep. Yeah.
He says you guys are awesome.
You know what,
Thank
Callie
you
was
so much.
I'm sorry.
Please, let's
so great
connect
to meet you, and I'm
soon.
so glad. I'm so glad we have another drummer around. It makes me feel good immediately. The show is better looking. It's smarter. It definitely smells better. I can't say enough about having another, not just a drummer. Are you a percussionist too? Because if you're a percussionist, then it goes up another notch. But drummers are really good, so appreciate it.
Yeah, and also, guys, remember to go check out Callie's Groom Room on YouTube, and go check him out.
I gotta check that out.
Hey,
drop your maybe you should tell him drop after the show.
After the show
tomorrow if he's around. Drop in the final, the comment section and on the video. Drop in your channels so we know.
Yeah,
most of
if you go and just make a comment on the video tomorrow, it will drop down below. And this way, if you're a small YouTuber, anybody is or anybody wants to put a comment down, that helps everybody find each other the next day, which is really useful.
Please.
So thanks for stopping.
It really helps. Yeah.
And so we got Moni Johnson says he's heading out. Thank you, Moni. I really appreciate you for stopping in.
Moni, you're always a fun time, and he brings a lot of great brings a lot of great energy and input. I love it. So thank you.
I heard him on his video that he recently did, saying that his wife has finally convinced him to say that he is a photographer. So you should be. You do some great work, and so we appreciate you so much. And you are a photographer and a videographer.
Can I just say, having supportive people around you, it is such a big deal to help.
It's huge.
And I'm glad. I'm always heartened to hear that. And I know we make fun, but the truth is, your wife is so supportive, and as is mine. And but that's always nice to hear. Whether they're wives, husbands, others, it doesn't matter. It's just somebody around you to give that energy, and it's always good to hear stories like that.
Absolutely. The wood handle does make it uncomfortable for me to hold the camera.
Interesting.
Change lens, etc. on my 6400.
Okay. All right.
So that's
interesting.
Yeah, because the 6400
is it too big? It
has a decent grip.
It's not bad. Like it's not. I don't know that I need that extra wooden grip. My hands aren't that big, and I'd rather just not spend the money on. And if I can get something for $39 that's really good, I'll do that. I'll read the reviews. But
yeah, because some cameras need a grip. Like the ZV-1, it's like almost non-existent. But the M50 has a nice grip, so the cage doesn't actually make a difference on the grip. But the 6400 has a decent grip. It's not the most comfortable grip, but it's not bad. And so
Oh, good. He plays bongos. I got my Giovanni Hidalgos around here somewhere. My congos are back here. That's cool. And I bet you play cajon too. Like, that's cool. Cool. I love it. I love having more drummers. We can't ever have enough drummers. We're all drummers though. I love it.
It's like almost. Is it almost like? It's almost like something that's like in you from a child, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
It's like,
I
I
mean,
don't know,
are you
like-
talking about drummers? Or are you talking
Yeah,
about
not like a professional drummer, but beating, like having something.
I think it's
and
very
tapping.
I think it's
and
very I think it's very tribal. I think it's very instinctive.
intuitive in
From
you.
forever go. Yeah. I mean, we did it for communicating, for entertainment, for whatever. I think I just think it's part of our DNA on some level. Because I want to teach kids in schools. I was always amazed at, of course, kids pick up on everything, but there's just something about that always seemed to excite them, and all, like everybody perked up no matter what.
Yeah, it seems to me like even having a son who's 10, that most younger kids, the thing they love first is like, and the parents dread it, of course, is the drums. They want to
do.
play a drum.
My dad was a drummer, so that kind of made it a little bit easier. And my parents were so good they went out and bought all these drums for me, and they were so good about me playing in the den and making all this noise. And they were very supportive of what I did, which, I did a lot of. But it's tough on parents. It's not like today. There's more options for silencing them, and electronic drums are a lot more quiet. I mean, it's
that's
affordable.
true.
You can get, But although I don't like electronic drums, but they're great if you don't have an option. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I should look into that for my son. I tried to get my son to play the guitar, and it just didn't fly at all. But maybe because I know
a lot of guitar players were former drummers.
Yeah. Well, he always wanted to play the drums first, my son.
Okay.
So
so he's smart. I knew it. Okay, well, that's good. He's smart.
He is smart.
He's gonna jump right past your DNA. He's gonna do that whole skips a generation, and he's gonna go to good looking, smart, talented.
Oh, he's awesome. We were at Hershey, and he took a little can, like a can little thing that has an enclosure. You could put like some of these Hershey Kisses in. So this way you can carry them and give them out to people, right? So he gets this little thing, and he puts like 5 Hershey Kisses in there or something. And then he goes, hey, can I go upstairs to there was an older gentleman working there, this guy named Bill, and he was talking to my son as he filled out his card for Hershey Park and all these little things that they write down in the museum. And he goes, I want to go give Bill a kiss and share one with him, like a Hershey Kiss. So he's like, I thought that was like so thoughtful, right? He wanted to go back upstairs to give this guy a little piece of candy. And I was like, go ahead, bud, go up there. So he walks up and he goes and he gives it. And him and the guy Bill and another guy said, there's not a lot of young boys like you that are as gentlemanly as you are. And they shook his hand and they said thank you. And I was like, he came back downstairs, and I said to him, I gave him a hug, and I said, man, I love how kind you are to people. I said that to him.
Yeah.
It really opened my heart.
You don't see it enough. I mean, and when you do see it, it really strikes you. And I think that's the whole thing about, I don't think people understand, and to teach kids how to pass compassion, energy, connection, whatever you want to call it, without it having to be about them, or they're doing it because they want to do it, and what that does to the world is a huge effect. And
you're absolutely
kudos
right.
to you and Danielle. That's a
compassion is a big word, Jeff. Right there, I think you hit the head on the nail. The thing the kids don't have compassion for other kids, and
we're losing that. We're losing that even in adults for different reasons as well. And so we're just trying to find ways to, get that energy as best we can. I know that's how we feel about our stuff, and it may be little, but we're going to do it with compassion, and it's important. It's important. And
so Art though, he says his fingers are too long. I think they're just right, Art. And the original grip was fine. I wanted the cool look. Looks nice for sure, but it does. Better for handling without it. So, and that's what you want. Right. We want feedback for people that, now if they have a little bit of a bigger hand and they know that, then they probably won't be up their alley. So that's a good point for that matter. I
don't feel like it's, if I was going to get anything, I'd rather have the battery underneath that has the bottom grip. To have both, that would be kind of nice.
So he's saying ADHD has its upsides. Haha.
Well, listen, a lot of drummers have some.
You're in good company with all of us, so don't worry.
Yes. You fit right into this mob.
Yeah, it's something that probably all of us are dealing with. in some fashion.
Oh
And
my, yeah. There's a lot of fidgeting that goes on as a
welcome to the club.
welcome to the fidgeting room.
He's
I like
saying,
the fidgeting room. That's a good one. Yeah.
yeah, right. That would go over big. So you would know
Yeah,
about
they do make
this.
the meshes. Yeah.
So go ahead. He
They
says-
do. I don't mind them. There's the black hole meshes that I've been really looking at. And if you get the right ones, they haven't been in. But the black hole, and I can't remember the exact name of the manufacturer that makes those. What's interesting about them is they're also, of course, manufacturing now the triggers that are specific for those. So then not only can you have a nice acoustical, because the black holes are nice because they actually can just sit on the acoustical drum as opposed to taking the head off, screwing the mesh head on. It didn't sound good. So the new black hole ones, you actually just click on top of it. It's got a space, and you get a drop in sound, but you still get the resonance of the head, so you still get tonality of the kit, which is actually very cool. And the beauty of that is that now they got the triggers, and so you can actually go through, say I had the Focusrite hooked up, put the triggers on, and I can push sound right through into the DAW, and it's really kind of nice, yeah. So there's a
Stuff
lot of
that
cool.
I
There's a lot
have.
of cool stuff for drummers.
That's
now.
drum talk, baby, right there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I went off on that. That's fun.
No, he was asking. But that is drum
yeah.
talk, because
Yeah,
that's like how my wife looks at me when I start talking about computer stuff. That's pretty much.
Oh, what
She's
now?
like, what? Whatever you just said, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Or like anyone else, my family, they're like, look at me like, well, I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
I see the lips moving. I don't know what's coming out.
So he's saying compassion and positivity will always win in the end. I hope so.
It is. It does. I
Yeah?
think. It's the only thing that it's value. I mean, you can go a couple different ways. We can get real deep on it, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're not going to be happy giving out other things, but that's usually coming
No.
from a different source, right? But
Yeah.
when you give out compassion, even when you're not feeling it, we give out positivity, even when you're not feeling it, it immediately does something for you, and it kind of recycles things and kind of cleans things out. So sometimes when I'm having a little bit of a doubt, and maybe that's just gratitude, but that also helps, right? When you're just not having the best day in the world, you start cycling through gratitude and giving something to somebody else. It can really turn your day around, I think.
Yeah,
That's
people
really
always
handy.
say, they always do say that one of the best feelings to make you feel, whole is to be able to give to other people. And
That's kind of the best gift you can give to yourself, which is so weird and trippy. Sometimes people go, "Oh, yeah, that's Buddha. What are you doing?" No, there's some truth to it. I think there's a lot of truth to it.
I think so too. I think it's something that, in some ways, I don't do enough, probably, and in some ways, part of like what I enjoy so much about the whole YouTube journey is it's the aspect of being able to help
Yeah.
people with the tech and have fun with it along, as we go
Well,
forward.
I've seen it
too.
with you. I've seen how your spirits get crazy and you get excited and juiced up when people click and they're like, "Oh, that really helped me," and they let you know. And
Yeah.
so
It's
clearly,
just-
it has effect on you.
Oh, I love it.
cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
And then he's saying LV mesh heads by
Yes. Yeah.
Artem.
Art top. Yeah. Yeah.
There
Thank
you
you.
go. There you go.
I just haven't. Every time I look, the black hole stuff though are like they're not in stock, so I haven't looked in a while to see because I'm going to hold out for the triggers. But,
well,
I
I don't know. You know what? It's a nice day. It's a little bit early. I don't know. I think I might jet out a little early.
All
Call
right,
it a night.
that's
It's
okay.
like-
We've had a fun night, and again another positive vMix experience, another positive Wave XLR experience. I have to say.
Yeah, though, I tell you
I'm
what.
starting to figure out how to do stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're gonna have to learn on the backside, and then, like I said, if you want to, host something and practice with me over the week or weekend or something, just let me know.
Yeah, I might hook you up and see if you can jump in for an hour and I might try to host something. Because before I can do, I'm going to need to know. I'm not really sure what all these parameters yet, but I think we could figure it out pretty quick. Oh my goodness.
That guy knows,
Yeah.
right there.
That guy, that's not compassionate. You shouldn't do that to us.
Who is that guy?
What is going on? You green screened yourself. That's a nightmare. Why would you leave us with that little nugget? That's okay. That's pretty awesome. I love it.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
made a-
Brian has said is the vmix sounded and looked good tonight. Yeah, I think it definitely looks so much better, and I kind
I
of
have a
like
question.
I kind of like thank Ash for dropping that little note about us being
Yeah.
a little small, because this definitely looks better with us. I think we're probably about 15 to 20% bigger right here, and I
We
think it made a
are,
big
and
difference.
so we're going to be bigger than StreamYard. And then the other issue is now when you look on phones, it'll give us a nice presence. And then why waste the space? You know, just get us tight in there. And plus,
Yeah.
it looks good together.
It
You
does.
know, the J
It
and
does.
J, the J and J show, and you got to get a J and J up there somewhere, sometime. But you know, we'll work on branding at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I was
There's
just
two
happy to
Johns.
get the name straight and then make this bigger for this week. That was enough for me.
I am not complaining one bit, but
See what I have to do here?
Tech news.
I'm going to
I
have to
love it.
drop down this tech news a
Yep,
little bit
I see
more
this.
now that I resize this.
You've created
So-
a problem. Where
Oh,
none
that's
existed.
fine. But it'll be perfect. But
It's gonna be fun to keep tweaking away, and that's why I love when Ash dropped that in, and other people talked about the stuff. It got better. Small time looks great.
yeah.
Oh, Lala, you're
and then
amazing. She's
and then
great.
even like I think Darren came in here or Adam, somebody, and they said like the live streaming was a little too overwhelming, big. So I dropped that down pretty much significantly.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. It was Darren, I believe, who mentioned that, and it's much. I like this so much better.
It's not so overwhelming now, right?
Right.
I think it
Right.
definitely looks-
Some people could argue could go about, 15% smaller even, but I say you could leave it right here until you figure it out. I mean,
Yeah, I was
You know.
thinking a little bit smaller, but I wanted actually your opinion too. So I was thinking go a little bit.
you're in that little subtle area where I would go a little bit smaller if
Okay.
it gets you separates it out. Now I don't know, like where we sit. Are you controlling that? Do you have options to push us up higher? Not that you want to go crazy weird here, but
No, I don't
Like, if
have
that creates a
options
little room-
to push us up higher because we are
Okay.
like
Okay.
centered. Yeah,
we're max. Okay, we're set. Okay.
But I could make that smaller and have a little bit more separation between us and
Sure.
the border.
Yeah. I would just
So-
like nudge it and just see what it looks like next time. But I think you're definitely like so on track, man. It's great.
I'm always trying to improve, you know that, and it's a work in process, Lala. You know all about it. You know, you're in it all the time too. So I know how hard it is to just keep on improving. It's a lot of work. Before you go, you guys, have you noticed your streams being cut by YouTube?
Cut by what way? Like
Cut in
tonight or in
length,
general?
Cut in time. Cut. Yeah, let me know what you mean
Cutting
by
out?
cut
Are we
by
Are we
YouTube.
spitting around or? I guess that's a good question. Now I'm kind of curious.
Now I'm
No one
curious
said,
to
no one
know what
said
she's
anything.
talking about too.
Yeah, we'll give her a
'Cause she's
second
saying-
to.
She's
wanna-
experienced 2 times last Wednesday.
Were they dropping the? You mean the feed dropped and maybe she got disconnected from the key disconnected or
Yeah,
something? Is
that's
that
what she's
talking
saying.
about?
She's saying I meant disconnected, but that could remember just like if your internet runs slow and you get dropped, that can definitely happen. Now I have seen mine tell me that I was running a little high when I was running at 6,000 not kilobits, but what is it? My stream was running at 6,000 whatever instead of
Mbps.
Yes,
something like that? Or are you talking-
megabytes.
Yeah.
So it was running at 6,000 megabytes, and it suggested I drop it back. And so I dropped it back to 4,500, and it's not come back again.
Okay.
And it has a lot to do with my upstream speed because I'm maxing out at 35, megabytes per second here. So that's not a tremendous amount, and especially at 1080p. And if I go and stream out to Facebook and here at 1080p, then it, of course, puts a little stream, and so just a little strain on it. Yeah, I mean, that can happen, but I don't expect it to happen. That could be connections. That could be a lot of different factors. But it hasn't happened to me yet, Lala. So
So I tried something tonight. What do
did
you
you
guys?
try?
I mean, do you think? How's my white balance in general? Just out of curiosity. So it doesn't matter if it's not great because it's not like I care.
You
I just,
definitely don't look green like you did last week. A
Yeah,
little bit.
okay. Brian,
And you
if he's
don't look
around, can tell me too.
magenta. You look pretty spot on.
You want
I
to know what I
think.
did? It was really bad when I sat down here, and I don't have like a card like you guys right now. You know what I used to white balance tonight?
Okay. Yeah, just a white piece of paper.
The sample, no, the
Oh, yeah.
sampleizer
Yeah,
with the
you could do that,
Stonington.
too. Sure.
It worked out pretty good. Well, I wanted to see because the room's going to be painted that color. I'm like, why not? So, Brian, what I did is I used the sampleizer with the paint I'm going to paint, which is that Benjamin Moore Stonington gray.
Yeah.
And I held it up with the lighting I had, and I'm like, oh my God, you know what? That really helped. I mean, it may not be perfect, but I thought it looked a lot better just using this sheet of paper.
Pretty close to perfect, I think.
I was really happy with it. Yeah. So I just was curious, more or less, just to say, what can you use to? Because I know you guys have the gray with the 18%. You know.
I'm actually curious to see what Brian thinks. The only thing is I warmed myself up a tad, but I did get a lot of sun the last 2 days. Even though it was cloudy out, I almost got sunburned. Actually,
you got some red. Yeah.
But yeah, I got some red. But I don't know if he can tell because my face is red, but I warmed myself up a little bit, and I think it looks more realistic than I've had the last couple of weeks. So I wonder what he thinks too about that.
You look really good.
But he's saying you have no complaints. I don't know if that's with me or just you in general.
I think he's just talking about life. No, he would tell us like if he's living the dream. I was like, well, it's probably one of the best, results I've had. And I'm like, well, what am I going to use? I don't have anything. And I looked over and I saw the sampleizers. And I'm like, well, we like that gray. Let's pull it out of there. And I was shocked at how much better it looked compared to where I started with the quick white balance. I'm like, well, that's what I have. Let's use it.
The 1 week he was right when he said it. It's not like something I come into the stream and I like see right away, but I noticed when he mentioned it, I saw like the green. And
I'm noticing it more and more. Like my eyes are starting to catch that. I'm going, oh, I need to start. It's so simple. Why don't we just do it? And I have to order the thing, but I'm like, I'm going to use this till I get it, and I'll be fine.
It looks good.
Thank you. I appreciate the help and input, everybody. And,
well,
we just keep going.
Keep going.
Brian, thank you, by the way.
I about had a heart attack tonight starting this stream out, so I'm about done.
Yeah, it cost you some life. Yeah,
that cost me some life.
Energy.
I just felt like I had so much I wanted. Like I was going to come in, do a little dance, and I had this set up in the back. I was actually going to play like a little club music and start out.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get it together after that. I was just like I was so stressed out after coming in and being like
you were a little wound up, John, and I was at that point. You know, when you joke around with some people, at some point they're okay, and then you realize people are at a point where I don't even want to poke the bear, like and say something that sounds funny at this point. I was like, I'm just gonna let this. I was
about ready to drop the whole stream tonight. I was like,
I know you were, and so I'm like, I'm just gonna stay out of the way for a minute and just let this thing.
Because it's like
it'll work out.
It's exhausting to drive. All the way home, you're on vacay, and then you set this. I spent like 2 hours down here today putting the stuff away, setting up the cameras and getting everything set. And I was like, the last thing I needed was that. And then I made sure that my stream key was correct. And so I didn't have that problem. And so I was like, oh my God, really?
It's we've all been there, right? It's frustrating. You're already stressed out. It's been, vacations are very restful. And
what do you got, Lala? Drop a question now if you got something. We don't care. Yeah, you don't have to wait till Tuesday. I don't. If you have something to
John doesn't have to get up tomorrow morning. He doesn't have a life. In fact, he's off tomorrow. Hey, John, remember how my Stream Deck broke last time and 10 minutes in from the connection? So it's held tonight. So here's what I did. So I went straight. I took out the TP-Link network.
Oh, you have like the plug-in
went straight into the router. I went straight into the router and got rid of that. Right. I think that was causing the problem. Shocking, right?
It's so hard to know sometimes, though. It's like there's so many factors.
It's just there are, but I mean, I'm just saying that it. So now the Stream Deck is held almost over 2 hours,
right?
You know, and without dumping out right away. So that's great. It's great. It's great to know. So,
yeah, I'm glad too.
Yeah.
So
maybe she doesn't have a question.
Art's taken off. That's
oh, hey, Art, nice to see you. Thanks for the questions and stopping in and saying hi. Appreciate it so much.
Art, take care. Have a good night, man. And what's that?
You'll get to it.
I see it.
I'm excited for my big stream.
Yeah, my big Steam
deck.
Deck.
Okay, got to read that. Yeah, his big Stream Deck.
Right.
Well, what do you guys think you're going to get? Jesus,
Barely.
you guys still at it?
Barely,
well, let
bro,
me tell
barely.
you. Let me tell you something. You missed
a lot of great
throwdown tonight. You missed a big old throwdown. That's what she said. I missed my big Stream Deck. I almost. What do you think it's going to be, man? Do you think you're going to get an actual Stream Deck?
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know,
Come
but
on,
it's being
man.
sent
I
out
don't
to
know.
me. I don't know.
I'm going to be honest with you. If, in fact, you guys get a 32 key XL Stream Deck for $100, I'm going to throttle the people who told me it was a scam because I had purchased
That's what I'm waiting for.
If you think I was coming off the rails this Tuesday, you haven't seen anything. I will be lit on fire next Tuesday if you guys tell me you actually get a 32. It's not going to end well. In fact, you might not even plug in your mic because I'm going to have about an hour and a half venting to do about it. So I'm just saying.
I'm so excited.
Really, really. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm gonna do exactly what my wife said. I'm just gonna unbox it live.
I don't know if I would do that. I first have a bomb squad look at it, and then
wait.
you know,
it's gonna be awesome. Oh, God,
yeah, because here's the thing: either John's going to be kind of disappointed that his $100 bought him a brick, or on live TV you're going to see my head explode. So either way, it's going to be a very interesting result, right?
Oh, it's going to be a blast. I think we might get a Stream Deck.
Dude,
Zan,
I cannot.
Zan, I don't know if you know this.
Even.
There was like a glitch on Amazon this past week, and they had up this link for a 32 XL Stream Deck for $100. And I was one of the people that said, hey, I'll go for it, because what's the worst case scenario is that, you know, Amazon comes back and refunds my money and I don't get this Stream Deck. And I said, what the heck? Might as well just try to get it and see what happens. So it's being shipped out. It says it's shipped already. So if it shows up and I have a 32 key Stream Deck,
$100 32 XL Stream Deck, I had it. I bought it, and everybody said it's a scam and you'll never get anything. So I canceled it right away because I used the wife's credit card and she wasn't happy. And so theirs shipped. So now the joke is, are they going to open up a brand new 32 key Stream Deck they got for $150 off and be happy and my head will explode? Or are they going to get ripped off and open up and find a brick in there?
I'm not sure what's going to happen. But
it's so weird. I mean, I've seen this stuff happen though, bro. Like,
yes.
Somebody in my family bought something kind of like on this thing and like, oh, it shipped out. And it ended up being like a 30-cent like case for a phone or something. It was ridiculous.
Sometimes if they make a mistake and it's really their mistake, they have to live up to that. And so we'll see what happens. But the normal price is $250. And so we're going to see what happens.
I don't know. Sure. I'm going to be so upset. If you and Brian, I'm serious. I'm not, I mean, you think I'm playing, but I'm going to lose my mind on live stream. So next Tuesday might be a time for you. It should be come by then. If it comes by then, either way, my mind's going to get blown up on live stream. So,
well, I'll tell you right now, if I get that 32 key one for $100, I'm going to have a 15 key for $100 for sale. So if you're interested,
you're going to make me pay for $100. What'd you pay for it? $150?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. See, whatever. You're going to be an ass to me both times. One is you're going to like show me the 32 you got for $100, and I'm going to pay for I'm essentially paying. Oh, Jesus, I'm getting beat up twice because I got to watch you enjoy this, and then I get to pay for it by buying a 15 key. And I probably will because that's a pretty good deal.
I got a 28 key on my tablet using Stream Control. You ever hear that?
Yeah, I have. And I use Touch Portal. I didn't like it. I do have the Stream Deck on my tablet right now, but it's Mac. You can only get the 15 key, but it works great. I'm using it, so that's $2 a month or whatever. But I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. The Wi-Fi problems I'm having, I just soon to be connected to it. But for now, I'm going to go up. But man, I'm still like.
Listen, I got a deal for you.
I don't know.
If I get that 32 button one, I'll turn it around and sell it to you for $200.
Sell me what?
The 32 button.
Man, with friends like you, I might as well be like.
Listen, this is what Zan would do. Zan's saying the same thing.
Turn around, sell it to me for $200. Zan, what's wrong with you? Why would you put that in that man's brain? Its brain's like this big. It can't even be filled with that kind of knowledge. And so you just, no, I'm not buying it.
Someone got hosed. That's a Canadian
Someone's going to get hosed.
You got hosed.
I'm probably going to get hosed. I'm wondering, man. It's going to be incredible to find out who got hosed on this one.
Sam, this guy doesn't appreciate $50, obviously. He thinks it's money grows on trees.
No, you stop it a minute. Stop it. No, I was going to spend $100. I wasn't ever going to spend $250, much less $200 on that piece of thing. And so, no, stop.
Listen, it's all your fault why I got into this whole thing.
It's true. You're right. I would felt so bad.
I had no intentions.
You were on vacation. I knew you were on vacation, and I felt bad because I told my wife, oh, my God, I just told John. Knowing him, he saw it. He probably bought it, and you did. And then I got the word, I write you back, and all you said was, it's a scam! Exclamation point.
I was so.
And I'm like, oh no!
I was like,
oh
what?
no! He's
I
in
bought
line
it
on a ride at Hersheyland, and he's finding out his credit card just got scammed on Amazon, and I'm the reason. Oh my God.
Pretty much. Because I just bought it. That's what I sent you. I sent you a letter, and I'm like, yep, I bought it. So I thought it was good. I don't know.
So Dimebag's doing what I'm doing, but I'm just using a Stream Deck. I'm doing the same thing. I got it kind of web socked now on the 5G, and it does work great. I don't have as many things. Maybe I should look into it.
See, the thing is, it's so weird. It's like vMix has that built in. Like literally, I could have like this. I could just go and take a tablet and have that whole WebSocket be on there and have that do the same exact thing as a Stream Deck. But to me, it's not as fluid.
No, it's not. I mean, it's a little bit like the Touch Portal, which I just didn't care for building that out. I've enjoyed so much working with Stream Deck and building my things out, and it was too much overhead to build, and I want to move things around quick and easy. And I'm going to tell you right now, Stream Deck does it really, really nice. I could be totally incorrect about Stream Control because I haven't played with it, and I'm willing to always play with things, so I probably will look at that just for the heck of it. But I'm kind of, no, I don't want to be an Elgato fanboy, but I have to say right now their products are heading above right now in their fields, in their market, in their, what do you want to call it? The class, I guess that's what I want to. Oh, Jesus. Is that your web? Is that your knowledge drop, or is that your belly?
You're dropping knowledge right there. So I had to do the K-bomb.
Or is that going to be my head next week when you open up a 32 key? I hope you open up. I hope you open that box up, and I hope it looks like it's a 32 key and it's an empty shell. I hope there's nothing.
It's a hamster wheel. It could be. I don't know.
Or it's just one of those like cards where you can redeem 32 key icons for your Stream Deck.
It's just so weird.
It's so weird. Did you know, by the way? Remember, Sammy came on Tuesday and was like, "Well, you can get the 15 key for $100, which is $50 off." And I look, it's the same. I'm like, it's the same scammer. It was the same dude, and Sammy's running around pushing us back into the same scam guy. I was laughing. I'm like, you're doing, and then now if you go there, there's none of that. It's just the 149 15 key. They don't even have the 32 up, and nobody's third partying anything on that page anymore right now.
I wonder what's.
I think Amazon got all freaked out.
I just want to show
So they got
Brian
real-
this really quick. Like
The WebSocket?
Yeah, kind of like this. It's a web controller in vMix and what it looks like. I think I showed you one time, but I don't think I ever showed him. So I'm just going to show him kind of like what it looks like right here. And it's
Show Bri.
right on here. It's this right here. So I can add as many things as I want here. But if I just go and hit any of these buttons for chat overlay or USB cam or any of these things, they'll all just work like the Stream Deck. That's it. Any of these things. So it's kind of like really cool that you can add all this stuff, and I could hit them, and I could pull this up on this shortcut, right? This whole shortcut right here, and just pull it up on a web controller. On a tablet or something, and then be able to have
that's where we're getting to the stream. That's where we're getting to the stream control, where you can put up a ton. I think those grids are so flexible. So you could put up a ton of things, and that may end up being a very good option down the road too. But if you do end up with the 32 key, I mean, you're kind of set up. You could probably, well, I'm assuming you could use the Stream Deck to key those in. vMix must have a plug-in or something that you can connect those to, don't they?
What do you mean?
Well, can't you? I mean, those are keys that you can click, but I'm talking about, can't you? You can put those on your Stream Deck, can't you?
That's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing. All it is a hotkey, like I would do with a Stream Deck. Same exact.
It's a hotkey, and on Stream Deck, you can, it's a. But I'm just saying, you can use the Stream Deck with those keys.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I did that before I bought the Stream Deck. I just wanted to try it out. No, it's not for OBS. This was just built for Stream Deck itself. So, I mean, not for Stream Deck, for vMix. So
vMix.
it's not like a thing like that. But the thing is, the thing that Darren has, would that work for OBS?
Okay.
Would that work for OBS?
Yes, Stream Control. I think it is for OBS.
Oh, okay.
So
That's good.
Wait, he says right there, Stream Control is for OBS start. I think it's a great thing to start with. I start with Touch Portal. I wouldn't do that. I think go for the Stream Control.
I tried that Touch Portal.
It's so
It's
not
clunky
great.
to me.
It's clunky and
Yeah.
it's powerful, but it was not worth what we need it for.
Yeah, well,
that Stream Control has me interested, but
I discussed
try
this
it out.
though. To me, it was like I would rather spend $100 on a used Stream Deck than go and mess with that stuff. That's what I said to you a long time ago. So
yeah,
I kind of felt like.
And you
that
can
was
look.
what I wanted.
I'm using a tablet right now with the Stream Deck, and it's $2 a month or whatever, and that's a great deal. But at the end of the day, it's just like with the Gold XLR or anything else. I'm a big fan of removing. Like I'm a big fan, like you, Darren, of trying things, especially for free when you can. That was the beauty of this, was for me to just go, well, maybe I won't even like a Stream Deck. And now I'm like, I do like the Stream Deck, and I want to buy one for $100. But what I always find is, yes, you can WebSocket and you can kind of hook it in, but man, that is another layer of thing. If it's not for some reason it can get powered up, I just like something that is literally a little bit more hardwired into the system and less chances of going down on me for headache. But I like playing with things, so I will always do that too.
I mean, it's fun to play with things, but it's just like, new things that work really cool. But it's just a matter of, for me, it was like, I don't want to mess with that.
Well,
I'll take $100, buy a Stream Deck, and it did everything I wanted.
Okay, so the reason I do this is like a lot of people, I have so many things that I need. I can get the idea of a Stream Deck and do things and kind of not get the perfect setup, but then I can take money and whatever. But at some point, there's playing and there's working. And at some point, I will want something a little bit more consistent for some more higher end production. But I always want to test things out when I can, because some people don't want that and some people don't want to spend the money on it. So it's always good to have that. So I will pull up Stream Control and try it out, because I think it's very interesting.
Well, especially it's a good thing for people when they're, looking for something that is cost effective while they just bought a camera or they just bought a mic and they need to hold off a little bit. So it could be something that gets them through.
Yeah, maybe they got a MIDI. Maybe they got something they can tie into that Stream Control already. So you do have the version of a Stream Deck. So, I mean, that's possible too. I see
night, Mom.
Mr. Dan Bearded stepped
My mom
in.
is going to sleep, so good night, Mom. And
See Dan? Dan's
hey,
here.
Dan, what's
Saying,
going
hey,
on?
guys.
Hey, guys.
How are you awake, Dan?
I got a feeling Dan sleeps he probably sleeps like, I'm going to guess and say 5 hours a night. That's, I think,
Yeah,
maybe
he does
his
that,
average
and
is.
and what he does is he's like every hour he'll take a 5-minute cat nap, like what
No.
like Einstein would do, like geniuses. He'll take like a 5-minute. He's like, I'll just
I think
power
he
down
sleeps
for a
like
minute.
5 hours a night on average during the week. That's my guesstimate.
Yeah, probably.
Because otherwise, you can't get everything you need to get done. There's so many things. I know I get like 5 or 6 hours, and I need like another 4. It's like
At least.
it never gets
At least.
everything done.
It's never enough. But
But-
I mean, is there enough power? Like, if you don't sleep enough, is there enough power in the body to produce
No.
those kind of beards?
No, you got to take extra
takes a-
biotin for that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So he probably goes through that on his stream. He talks about taking extra biotin. If you're not getting the sleep that you need as a bearder, is that what it
he's-
is? You need to take that, and that will
he'll tell you.
compensate, and your beard will keep growing, right?
He takes the multivitamins made by what's the name of the company that you use? I know it. I don't sleep much. I just don't need a lot. Yeah, well, I could guess that by just looking at you. That's why I knew. Like I knew
Beard octane.
that he's like, yeah, Beard Octane. That's the gummies I think he takes with Beard Octane. But it's like he just doesn't sleep a lot. He doesn't. I knew it because he's like us.
I know.
But
I don't
except
sleep
I think
much.
he's us on nitroglycerin or something.
Well, yeah, that's a dangerous combination, my friend. I'm worried for Dan.
Oh yeah, Brian, if you don't know about beard supplements, you got to take Beard Octane, and then you sleep 3 hours a night, and then in 3 years you get a YouTube channel that has like 50,000 subscribers. That's how it works, bro.
That's what he did. Now, he was just at a convention. I don't know if was that convention something related to Beard Octane, because I don't remember. I was kind of blowing through the deal, but I saw he was at a convention, and then he talks about how at the beginning of his stream, him and the boys were like, "Yeah, we're physically sore," and I'm like, "What happened at this convention?"
Right.
What went down?
It was a lumberjack convention.
It was a lumberjack and a bearded convention. What did you have to milk a lot of cows? What happened?
I'm curious. Is Dan? Is there a possibility that you're going to that creator? I wish I knew the name of that thing in Albany. Remember I talked to you about it, Jeff?
Yep.
That thing in
October.
Albany, October. Is that something that Dan is looking at? Because I know, as far as I know, I think Tom and Heather are not going. They made that decision that they're not going because I think they're seeing, things not going in the right direction. So they're not going to probably go.
People are getting a little weirded about possibilities for the fall, so
Yeah.
people are canceling.
So it's
them.
hard to look ahead. You know what I mean?
It is. It's really
and
difficult.
I understand
Yeah.
that. So, but I want to go to it because there's reasons I'd want to go, but it's really to meet, certain people. Like there are certain people that mean more than me to me, to go see, and it's not like, it's not the majority of the people. It's probably just a few, and so. I don't know if I'll go up there if I can't meet the people I want, though. I have not heard of the creator event,
Sure.
but it sounds fantastic. I love opportunities, all opportunities. So it's in Albany, New York, and it's like Doc Rock is going. It's all these big creators are going in October, and like Dee Nimmin will be there, and I think Nick Nimmin will be there, and Brian Johnson will be there, and it's kind of like the VidCon thing but smaller. And but a lot of big
nice, I
names,
think.
right? And I was like thinking, and I know like Tom and Heather were talking about going, and now they're decided not to, and I don't know if I would go or not, And plus, because like if I go, it's going to be because I want the energy that I want out of it, and so there's certain people that I want to meet because I feel like I'll get that. And other things aren't so important to me. I'm not going there to like rub elbows with people that have 1 million subscribers. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? That doesn't make a difference to me. So,
What he's saying, Dan, if you were there, he'd go.
Dan would be like a possibility of one person. Like if there were 3 or 4 or 5 people.
Right. That's that group of people that you respect, that you go, oh my God, I would like to emulate that type of deal. And so, it's Tom and Heather and Dan and those kind of type of crowd. That you would wanna
Exactly.
meet.
Exactly. Like I know Sammy, I think, is going, and I know for a fact Doc Rock is going. And I think like Dr. Elo is going, and so a lot of these streamers, I think they're definitely going. But it's
It'll
just
be
like,
interesting to see. Like, are they going to like start canceling some of this? I don't know, man.
well,
I
that
hope they
was the
don't. It's
thing
hard
that
to tell.
bothered me. Like, are they going to go and start canceling some of these things? And then I'm like, what are they going to do with all? I don't know. I don't know how comfortable I'll be at that point either.
It's it's so hard because in a way October feels like it's forever away, but it's not. And so it's really just it's going to seem so different in a month when we get into fall.
That's so close.
Mindset
like
wise, it is.
seems like
it's Hallmark's going to start Christmas shows in a minute. I mean,
Right.
it's just frustratingly fast, and I'd rather just forget Hallmark and watch Dan do his flex beard shows and stuff like that. I prefer that.
Yeah, I love, like I pay attention to all these things that like Dan does in the stream because I'm trying to think of some way to really push something out there, and I don't know how to do it, and so I'm gonna try to figure out something. I want to do like some giveaway.
It's difficult because I mean. Yeah, Dan's really dialed into that product and then that avatar what he's dealing with, and
Right.
it's and I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying that he's dialed in and to know this is what my group is, what they want, and this is what my product is, and how he can connect with that, which is so difficult. And
Yeah.
it's even more difficult when I think you're in such a broader thing where this isn't really our products, it's not really a thing. So what do you do to do that same type of now? Okay, you
But
could,
even
you could argue,
Filmtopia
well,
does like some giveaways and
yeah.
stuff
Again,
like
though,
that.
I think it's yeah.
They're
No,
got
I
much
know
of
that.
a
I'm kind of
broader.
getting to. I'm getting to that. Like Filmtopia. Oh, I say if I'm in Filmtopia, I would go, man, what do I have that's Marvel related or DC related that I could? Because people love that, and he did that.
Right.
He had a cool thing where he's trying to get to 1,000 and subs, and he gave away some really. They weren't junk. They were really cool products. And I thought he did it in a really good way. He's just another one that I really
need to
respect, and I know
find
you do too.
I do, absolutely. I just need, I want to, some way to, I have to figure out some way to market to people that are looking for this type of thing, right? So it's like new YouTubers and new streamers that are looking to learn a lot of what we're talking about. But the thing is, right, is like sometimes that angle doesn't work because look how many people that we talk to and they're not new at it at all.
No, you got to be careful because the technology's new. So it's not just that people are new, but the technology becomes new. And if I'm in technology and something new comes out, I'm going to have a whole bunch of questions. So it has nothing to do with really being a new tuber, so to speak. So then it really comes down to being discovered, right? Of course. And you're saying, how do I get discoverability for this type of thing? And this is tricky. There's a lot of competition. It's a very verbose, it's a big word, but it's a very verbose product line, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
And so it's very difficult to nail that down. And it's not a physical one.
I think you're right that, I understand like there's a lot of competition in this and that, but there's a lot of misinformation out there too. There's a lot of people saying things
that's a different subject,
that they
but
don't
true.
know what they're even talking about. I've been on big streams where you'll ask them questions, then they have no idea. And just because they're big names, they think they know the answer to a camera question, which they don't. And so I think it's like, and the thing is like, this guy was interviewing a tech guy. Instead of letting the tech guy answer the question, he chose to try to answer the question. And so I'm like, why are you trying to answer the question? You're interviewing a tech guy, and you said, do I have any questions for him? And so the tech guy was like, what are you talking about?
It's a tricky thing. And again, it sounds minimalist or marginalizing to say, this is harder in a way to find that to somebody that's got, and when somebody has a little bit more of a specific product or a product line, that I think it's a little easier, especially if it's a physical product. Now, Filmtopia is not a physical product, but it is. They've made it into one because there's so many collectibles in a way from the Marvel stuff. And
Yeah.
if you really look
It's
at
a
their
good-
catalog, there's so many cool. It's a good tie-in.
It's
So
a
you have
mental
to either come
connection.
up with your own. Yeah, so you could, the option with the stuff we could talk offline. I mean, you could go and get like things from the manufacturers, for example, like people do with Ecamm. You could go to Sony, you go there and get a T-shirt or a headband or whatever. And these little things is all you really need to give out to people, like those kind of things. And then eventually it could be the show could have its own branding line of Stream Buddy type things that could help people, give them out to people just for fun. I mean, I don't know. It is a tricky thing. I'm not gonna lie. It's
I mean, like he's saying,
tricky.
you could take it or leave it, but the thing is, the majority of these people that come in, they don't have any knowledge of this. So would they come in and they ask somebody something that knows more, then even if they get misinformation, it's still information. So they get it and they run with it. But the thing is, I think it's just I don't have a problem ever saying I don't know something, because if someone asks me something, I'm just like, I don't know that. But there are certain things that I really know a lot about. And it's when you talk about cameras that are like $1,500 and less, for the majority, I know a lot of what they all do, and to like a T. When you knock it down to like the majority of what YouTubers use, you and I know so much about those cameras and about the audio equipment and about the techniques of using it and the ins and outs
and what
of,
not to do.
Yeah. And then the streaming softwares, you know what I mean? Like we've used everything. It's so there's a lot of things.
I mean, the knowledge is there. I wonder sometimes, like I sit back and now we're at the end of the stream. I don't mind speaking a little more openly, but like, there are so many streamers who are doing live stuff that don't have a huge breadth of knowledge, but they have a pretty good following. And I don't begrudge that. That's not the point. But what are they doing? So then there's two ways that I see that answered. One is they got their discoverables by building their channel and got that, or somehow they added in an entertainment thread to it that was able to bounce off of it and use those to play off of each other, which maybe that's probably something that we've talked about kind of doing, and we kind of are. We don't play it too straight up. And then there's going to be the other one, and you and I've talked about what Dan's saying here.
Yeah, I mean,
for sure, not missing a single stream in over 3 years is a massive fact. We've talked about we've not missed a stream. Dan, you're making me feel like a
3 years is
complete
unbelievable. But
because we were patting ourselves on the back. Tonight is our 30th stream in 3 months. We haven't missed one, even when John was gone, and we're happy with that. And yet, you say 3 years, and I think, man, I'm so respect that, and I do think there is something to. People talk about grinding. You have to grind this out consistently.
Look at the second sentence, though. Like he says, my first year I didn't have double-digit viewers. I mean, that puts things in a lot of perspective for me. Because
we've had a lot of
double-digit viewing, and as high as 19 people at one time. And it's not about even just the people. Like I've always told you this, right? It's not always about just the people that we have. It's also getting the people that we would like to have that want to hear the information, right?
Yeah, but that comes with momentum. I mean, I think you're always going to have segments of people that are there for tertiary reasons. So you're just you're never going to call that all out, but you're just trying to get the weight of the energy of the people, like you say, you want to do. And I think that will come because that's what our personality is. I think that we'll attract that in a mass. But I really, Dan, this has been really interesting for me, and I really appreciate you spending the time to kind of say that, because it kind of validates everything that we've talked about.
Yeah.
And what we in my head, and yet we've had those discussions, and I think we're right, but to hear it from somebody who's kind of proven it, has proven it, it makes me feel good.
I mean, the relatability is great. I know it's like a different era, so there's a lot more people. Last year they were taking in a lot more viewing of YouTube, and then now, early in the spring, summer, that slowed down a lot, and now I see people are watching more now again, and it's because of a lot of parts of the world where they're taking in much more information at that point. I mean, much more content right now because they're not out and about. Like, Australia, for instance, has been locked down for a while now. So it's like there's a lot of viewing going on with YouTube.
I mean,
again.
Dan, agreed. And Dan's saying, the lockdown, the same thing. Your tide would go up. I've seen it already with fall coming on in school, getting back, that we've seen a big jump in views and concurrence. I have 77 subscribers. So to have 12 people concurrent the other night really makes me happy. I know how lucky I am to have that. It's unusual. Would you agree, Dan, that a big part of this is consistency and grinding, being there all the time, and I hate to say it, but living through so much attrition of other people that kind of start at the same time as you, or maybe were there, when they fall out, the weight of what you've done by grinding out and by not collapsing under the weight and become a part of the attrition, I think you become more discoverable at that point. I think now is when you're the last, I don't want to say last guy standing, but I mean, you stand out a little bit more because you've weathered the storm.
That's why he put
right?
the equals more new creators, because he knows there's going to be a whole nother wave of people coming in to try to be this. Yeah. And this is where this could really help us.
That's a different point, though. I'm saying that, let's just say that everything's held equal. I was just saying that even without another lockdown, part of this gig, and what he was saying early on was 3 years, never missing anything, is kind of my point. That is your best shot, because you're going to live through a lot of attrition, and of course, you're just going to, by the way, to meeting people. It just, these things exponentially grow, but by other people falling out that are trying to do what you do, your weight of your channel and what you do becomes at the top.
Well, we've said that from the beginning, you and I. Like, we sat down and we said that, what it takes to get where we're going and where we want to get is, the big word for me always was perseverance. It's just like, we're going to have to make it through all these things that we're talking about right here, and just keep on going into being consistent and the whole nother wave of people. But I think, like you said, just doing these streams over and over and slowly building people that will come over and over will happen. It just will in a matter of time. It's just not going to happen overnight. And I don't expect it to. I don't.
Yeah. I know Brian asked him if his lives get views later on. Now, I think his would, where a lot of people's don't. I could see where a lot of Dan's legacy videos actually do, because of the nature of it. I don't think that's the norm, so to speak, but I could be talking out of turn. I've heard that's not the norm, and it shows that to be true. But I think when you have a really good product, a really good community, you've got an entertainment value, in that a person is very personable, I think that people would be happy to go back, especially because there's so much information being given out on those lives by Dan that's relevant. I know what people want.
Lately, that when I've been doing some of those solo lives that I do about a specific topic, that they've been picking up on views. I mean, I would get I want to say, when I first started, it would be literally 20 views, and I've gotten on some of these views lately, 300 views, 250 views, 230 views, those are starting to get up into the higher numbers for me. And I think this algorithm thing with just going live so much definitely has to somewhat take some type of effect eventually. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm just, is anybody else just shocked at the amount of people that watch lives, though? I mean, maybe not Dan's, because I think there's so much content of what, what do you want to call it? For the beard stuff, which is, I won't say
I'm blown away by
but
that.
I think, it's just, But I mean, I just, for ours, I'm always a little bit blown away that people would watch. But it could be other countries where they just don't have a lot of information and they're just trying to get whatever. I don't know. I don't know what the reason would be.
I don't know if a lot of people are watching lives, or it's just me watching a lot of lives and then seeing those people, because my factor is I love live streaming, so I look for the lives, and then I attend a lot of the lives. But here's the thing: I watch this RV guy. He's a I believe a Cuban guy, and it's him in his RV, and he's got a song that he plays that he made, and his live streams, dude. He sits in front of his RV with a wireless setup. He's got 800 people watching. 800. And he gets super chat after super chat after super chat. And he's way entertaining. I love him. I found him when I was traveling to Maine, and I was looking up videos about Maine, and I ended up finding him. And I ended up watching like 50 of his videos.
Yeah, it's something that's got a deep entertainment value to it is really going to be something that grabs people in this medium. For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I love, I watch lives because people are making an effort.
Yeah.
That's true. And I think that you respect that because you know what it takes to go live. And so in turn, I get your vibe on that, Darren, because that's exactly how I feel. And then I try to watch a lot of lives and then analyze and pick away what I can out of the live that would help me in my certain ways. Like, I know you go over a lot of coins in your lives, Darren, and I'm like, wow, that camera. The first thing that goes through my head is like, what lens are you using? What camera? What magnifying that you can get up to those coins that close? I always like to know like all this crazy stuff, even though it doesn't pertain to what I need. It's kind of cool to see how people work in their lives to benefit their whole setup, and it's pretty extraordinary. So I love seeing that too. Yeah. Oh, and so my wife is bringing it up. Go check this guy's channel out. You want to be blown away by his everything that he does, because he puts a camcorder up there and he's got other cameras that he uses, and he cooks when he's there in the RV. He travels. He does so much he's too much camera work. And he's traveling, Robert. It's unbelievable.
He's living the life that so many of us want, so he's giving us this vicarious look into something that we probably would love, right? Kind of roaming out there in our RV, traveling, playing music, cooking, taking photos. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Of course not. No, of course I want to watch this channel.
Oh, it's like a dream.
It's like a dream. And there are certain topics and certain content that is going to draw different people. There's no comparison on a lot of this stuff, but that's definitely, I can see why that's a huge draw for a big swath of people.
Like, he's the kind of guy, and this is what you always realize, right? Like, why am I watching this guy? Because he's interesting. He really is. And so when you're watching this, it could be somebody else, and I may be like, I don't really care, but he is interesting. So the comment on YouTube is just as compelling as much as the stuff on commercial television. The content, really.
The content.
So a lot of people feel that. My son watches YouTube. My son watches so much YouTube. This guy knows so much about the solar system and planets. I can't even fathom it. And it's like all YouTube.
Oh, my God. I mean, I could spend all day on it. I mean, first of all, a lot of it's work, but then you do end up getting into so much content that does interest you in a specific level that I have no desire to watch anything on TV. I was like, I don't have time to watch all the content that I want to watch.
So people are going to bars and other places less. They want to be somewhere where they know their name and they want to hang out. That is super true. There's no doubt about that. Plus,
it is. You know what? It makes a good point. It's one of the ways that we can socially connect in a live setting and experience something together at the same time, where we feel a part of something, which is a lost thing now.
Right.
So that's a great point. A really good point.
So when Tom Green started going live over a year ago, I actually had my friend Chris that did my logo. He said, John, go check out Tom Green, who I love. I've loved him for a long time, bro. He is hilarious. I've watched Tom Green since, the days in the beginning. So anyways, I saw his studio and how he was setting it up. My friend's like, John, you got to check out Tom Green's studio. And then when I saw like these other comedians and Tom Green setting up their studios, I was like, that's kind of like, I said, okay, I want to do this. This is really interesting to me. And this is how I started going with my studio. Pretty much exactly like that. So I get that vibe. And even, Darren still loves he's saying Tom Green's channel is great stuff. Yeah, that's right. Dan is saying it's like it's so great. It's awesome stuff.
Growing up with Tom Green at his peak was a lot of fun. But he's just good. He's just a solid dude.
What?
I like watching him. Funny.
Yeah, this is what we do. We just go because this is what happens, right? We start talking about stuff, and then all of a sudden we just talk about more stuff and more stuff. And I don't even know why we're on here. It's like 3 hours later. We usually stop at 3 hours.
I know. Yeah, but
and they know what
happens is you start getting into a vein that everybody can relate to, and that's the best part of anything is when, and getting back to what Dan was saying, people knowing their names, but when everybody's talking about a subject that everybody can relate to, oh my God, that's when it's fun. And that's, even if it's not specifically to tech at that point, it still has to do with streaming, right?
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. It's just, to me, it's like, I said an hour ago I was going to go, let's call it an early night. And then all of a sudden we just started talking about things, and it's so easy.
If I can back up and look at, first of all, hi Cashew, how you doing? But it says, I feel like if we could get John and Jeff into an RV roadshow, it would inconvenience them both. Truer words probably could not have been said. Now I've done the RV bus stuff on tour, and that was with people that I could get along with. I don't know, John. I think we would be completely inconvenienced.
That's not what I want to do.
No.
I mean, I would love to go on a trip and just go see everything.
No, she's just pointing out that's a joke. It's a joke, John.
It's joke.
Just basically saying, could you imagine us idiots in a RV inconvenience? We would be pretty funny because we would probably be throwing stuff at each other after about an hour. But, it'd be our own gear.
Hold on. I have to change gears mentally. I was like so deep into that other stuff before. I was so far deep.
Stop.
I was. I really was. I really was. I would have fun. A lot of
people are doing that. A lot of people. I would have fun. I mean, RVing is cool, but come on, man.
You got to check
interesting
this.
to do now.
Go check that guy's channel out, Traveling Robert, and I just said you'll be blown away of how incredible it is. Yeah. It is. It's amazing.
I'm shocked Steve-O is also doing that. Okay.
Yeah, Steve-O. And what's he saying? It says, I show coins up to 12 megapixels with a telephoto lens. Yeah, I don't even know what half of that stuff is, but all I know is that when you zoom in, it's clear as a bell. That's what I could tell you.
On coins, nonetheless.
Yeah, on coins. So that's because people do, like, they have a specialty, and that's the things that he knows how to do.
No, I'm just shocked if you can get, you got to have a nice setup to do that. That's all. I'll have to check that out.
That's his thing. That. But
oh my gosh.
I mean, I didn't even know that Steve-O was still alive. I mean, because these guys, they abuse themselves so bad. They're out of Westchester County, Pennsylvania, too.
It was touch and go for a while on Steve-O, I think.
Right. But, I mean, because they live in the same county my friends do. And from the rumor is that no one loves them. That's for sure in that area.
They're not people you want to hang out with.
They're crazy.
But they're hellacious to watch. Yeah.
So he does this all on a Samsung S10 Plus, right? Wow, that's pretty cool. So he's got it set up with that. That just goes to show you, right? We just make everything, you make it work, whatever you got, and that's how it is. So
it's incredible.
Oh, I missed. Did my wife say something? Oh, wait, I see it.
Yeah, she did. You missed it.
She's sarcastic.
It's pretty funny.
She knows exactly.
Yeah,
I travel with John.
So.
I'm extremely inconvenienced too.
I don't know.
That's pretty true.
I don't know how sarcastic that was. I think that's hilarious. That's great.
Jay, I'm not sure if you heard, but I picked up a. Yeah,
I did.
He picked this all up. He picked up a Sony 64. Now, remember, I remember he was on the stream and he says, bro, I'm going to go Black Magic. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this? This guy's going to spend like $2,500 a camera. Yeah. I actually was going to, I was going to send you an email or something and just say, Dan, like, you don't need to go Black Magic. And I was like, I was totally going to hope, but I didn't want to overstep my boundaries. I know you have people to go to, but just let me, like, if you ever would even consider my opinion, you can always reach out to me and Jeff. But the thing was, I totally was like, just get a 6400 with the Sigma 16. And if you need to get something else, I like to have one camera. If I'm running like 2 or 3 cameras, like this camera that that's not a camera. This camera
Nope.
I have in the back, right, is a full frame camera, 24 to 70 zoom, and it's in at 35 millimeters right now. And so I like to be able to just have that kind of like fit my screen how I want to. And then my main camera is the Sigma with the 16 millimeter, and Jeff's also is the same exact lens. And then I just run the ZV-1 on the side of me, and I got the screw-on wide-angle lens from Ulanzi, which opens it up a lot. Otherwise, it's like almost having a 35 millimeter lens on that side. But I'm so glad that he went with that, because I just felt like he didn't need to spend more than that. You know what I mean? And he's getting plus on top of that.
He's gonna look so good, man.
Yeah,
he's gonna look so good with that.
He's got the A10 mini ISO.
Yeah, it's great. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, he says also, but he meant ISO.
Oh, okay.
Wait. I think he has the ISO
sure?
also. No, he probably says also, but I think he got the ISO version of it though. So
okay. Yeah, I mean, Dan, I was so excited when I upgraded mine too. It took me a minute to figure out where I was going to go, and I ended up with the 6400. I couldn't be more happy with it. And I mean, I had a 5100, and I thought that was decent. But it blew that out of the water. So yeah, you're going to notice a big difference between that and your webcam. I think you had a webcam.
Oh yeah. And then, I know Darren does his stuff live. So you got to check that out. And it's the same with, like I've missed a couple of his streams by like 15, 20 minutes. I see he's gone live. Guys, every time I jump into a stream, I'm on my phone a lot of times. I'm in bed sometimes. I'm at work on break. And so I just go in there and I try to jump in. So don't ever be offended if I don't jump in. I just try to get as much as people's info in as I can. But it just doesn't always work out that way. But
there's so many great streams.
There is. And they're all they're all friends that I want to support too. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Brian. Massive upgrade from the Brio 4K webcam.
Okay, the Brio. Okay.
Yeah, the Brio never lived up to that expectation. I don't believe. And so a lot they tried to sell it. I tell you, like the new Elgato camera that came out for $200 just a couple weeks ago when we bought our Wave XLRs. That's been the best looking camera that I have seen in that, in that category.
In that class, that category, yeah. I mean, for certain situations of people, that's going to make sense. For a lot of times, I don't know.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, I mean, it all depends, but
it has a purpose. It has a purpose, and I'm glad it exists because it's
expensive.
A great option. It's expensive,
but it's simple. And people need that sometimes. They just need to plug it in, and it works, right? So
yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? If you want to just USB, plug it in and go, and you're done. It's fine. You want a webcam, that's fine.
Yeah, and to me, it's a good picture for that price you're getting. So
it is a very good picture.
Because remember, like. A lot of people don't consider the fact, okay, I got the camera. Then they need SD cards. Then they might need another lens. Then they might need a cage. Like there's so many things that by the time you're done, if your camera was 700, you're at 1,000.
Dummy batteries.
Extra
batteries.
So like if you get that Elgato and it's 200, then it's 200 and you're done. So, but Dan's saying, I don't use Instagram that much, but I check my messages every day. So if you do send me a message on Instagram, I will see it right away. I check it several times a day. And the reason I do check it is because other people that are content creators have definitely said that I need to get more proactive on there, and they're messaging me on there also. So I do check that all the time, Dan. So if you message me or anything, and here's the thing, I didn't want to message you because I'm like, you're friends with Tom. Like you can go right to Tom and ask, and I don't want to step on anybody's toes. But if anyone asked my opinion, I would be, I would be very happy about that. So if you want to ask,
I'm just excited he ended up going with that camera, and he could have gone with a couple other cameras and I would have been excited as well, but
right,
he got the same one I got, same lens, so now Dan and I are 6400 buddies. I love it.
Yeah. And
club.
So He says if he had decided he needed more than one HDMI, yeah, I mean, because it just makes sense, right? You get an ATEM Mini Pro, and you get the 4, inputs, and it's cost effective for what that whole thing can do. I mean, I just have the ATEM Mini, and that's it. And I got it used for $200, so I get to plug all these cameras in for $200. I think it's well worth it. So at that point,
I think he mentions too about offloading some of the stress on the computer and things like that. I don't know.
And it does.
Yeah, using computer. Yeah. So I think I think people don't remember that's just another benefit of that setup. It might be something that I end up dumping into actually because I think it is a smarter.
So
path.
this is the reason why I wanted to get the CamLink Pro, right? Because it would come right off of my USB bus, and I would be able to put that card right into my computer, and it would be on the PCI bus. And I would have much faster bandwidth in there because I have a high-end computer with a newer motherboard that will have all that transfer speed. And so it would totally get rid of even my ATEM at this point, and I would save it because the ATEM is great for our mobile capabilities. So it all depends what you want to do. But
yeah, if you run if you're running any problems with the menus, find either. I mean, I've gotten knee deep in it, but I know also John obviously knows a lot about that menu system. It's kind of fun. Brian also knows a ton about it, of course.
Yeah, I'm always working on that. So he's saying followed. Okay, good. So then I'll be able to message you back and forth if anything too. And like I said, don't to tell you the truth, I mean, I take everything as if someone's asking me any questions, it's it's not, I know people always feel oh, I don't want to ask too many questions, but this is good work for me because helping people and being good at it is what I try to do. So don't be offended,
You try.
But,
we try.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing is I have JA and we go back and forth with this vMix and we work things out and we learn more and more. And I don't have this 6400 in my hands, but I have the ZV1 and I know the menu systems are complicated and there's a learning curve on them. But it's everything else, we just go at it and figure this stuff out and just work at it.
My favorite thing recently in the menu system down was just to get into those memory recall setups. And I had a couple of videos I found that were really good on there. Again, if you find me or find through John, however you want to do it. But yeah, that's really saved me to be able to set up some prefabbed memory recalls instead of having to go through each time and screw around, or some of the memory settings is really helpful. I don't know if he's just going to set it on for the most part live streaming. That's probably not going to be as much of a deal, but
I know Tom is great, and so he, when you're a teacher and he fits this and he makes all the videos about the stuff that we use, but along the way we try to use a lot of the new stuff that's out there. I know Tom and I both got the wireless HDMI system at the same exact time, and so I was doing lives with it, and he was doing lives, and then we got the Wave XLR. And so that's the thing, not everybody can get the new stuff all the time or afford to get it all. So we just jump in there and try to use that. But let me see. And this is exactly the truth, right? It's like having 4 ATM capture cards in one.
They're really smart. I think that's where I'm heading next to is I think I'm going to jump on that A10 Mini. Because it's just so cost effective, and I just love offloading any of that stuff that I can off the PC. That's great.
And Aaron's saying hello. Hello,
Aaron.
how are you?
How are you doing, my friend? Good to see. Always good to see Aaron.
So I think that was funny is that he said, he's like, nice tan, John. And that's, I got a ton of sun. Got a ton of sun.
You got some sun over standing in line. That's for sure.
That is so true. So I remember, so he says I watched a lot of Diana Gadney to set up my cameras. So Diana is hilarious because the only time I saw her grow, from very low numbers to where she is now. And she had the M50 when I bought the M50. I think she had maybe about 3 months of more use than me. And then I was watching her videos on the M50 when they were doing it. And so everybody was trying to find a way to stream with the M50. And I actually did stream with the M50. But all you have to do is get rid of autofocus. There's no autofocus. So if you're sitting here, you got to keep it in manual focus. And I used it. It wasn't a big deal. So, but yeah, you're just stopping in. I got to say goodnight too. Popping in again to say goodnight. Thank you so much. And she's recently married. Kim recently got married, so congratulations for that. I just found that out today too. So that was awesome.
Well, thanks for stopping in and stopping back and calling us gents. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a little overdone.
Yeah, why not?
No.
I like it. No, keep doing it. I like being a gent.
It's nice to have somebody that calls us gents, but
that's nice.
I'm a budget streamer, and we know what that's all about because
all budget here.
Yeah, I mean, we started in the beginning, and the thing is, I went along the way, and we started adding things and know where our mistakes were. And my biggest mistake was the lighting, and Jeff and I have talked about that, how we didn't spend the money on lighting where I should have, and then Jeff and I ended up buying the same lights. Like before we even met each other, we're like, "What lights do you have?" "Oh, I got those same ones." And it's like, well, "What boom mic do you have? What mic do you have? What audio interface?" Like we had a lot of the similar stuff,
Yeah,
a lot.
It's crazy.
So it was funny, and we were laughing about that because it just was funny that people think so close to one another about it. But
and yet so different about so many things. Jeffy's. Oh, thank you, Aaron. Yeah, I haven't. I got the paint sitting here, but I haven't done it. But I'm kind of moving things around and vibing on lights and looks and angles while I'm waiting. And yeah, I'm excited to get into it. But thank you, I appreciate it because I do love your studio and your vibe so much that means a lot.
Yeah, I know he's in the middle of painting too.
Yeah,
he had
I just think Aaron's got a great eye. I really like.
Oh, he does. He does.
I should have him over. He can help me paint and set up. I think he'd be good at that. I think.
Yeah, the sharp, accurate.
Yep.
R6 cell phone. I didn't even know that they had a cell phone.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So the camera's worth $3,000 in that phone. How do they sell it for so cheap? Boom.
I have no idea.
I can afford every time I see one of these cameras, right?
I know.
They're like $7,000 or something. It's crazy.
It's insane.
I'm going to sleep too. I think we're going to sleep. Yeah. Thanks for coming in, bro. I appreciate it. I appreciate you stopping by and dropping some
bearding us.
K with us and some knowledge. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And some nice words. Yeah.
And I think we're done, right?
Brother, I appreciate it.
I only went an hour further after I said I was going to leave.
I know. But it was fun. I enjoy these kind of conversations when we start just diving off all together in some random thing. It's kind of cool.
I do too for the most, cool. But my energy levels, man, I stressed myself out in the beginning of this whole thing, man.
Yeah, you're like a child who had a tantrum and now you're crashing.
Oh, God.
Right? Yeah. I think you better go to bed, scaring people.
Go to bed. I am. All right.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for stopping in and hanging with us on a Thursday night.
Guys, let me just hit this so people, I don't know. Is it too late? It's probably too late, but just to remind people.
Yeah. Put them up there so maybe they'll come see me on Tuesday.
We're going to go see Jeff on Tuesday at 9 p.m.
Come on in.
Eastern
time. Hi for a minute.
And
9 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah.
Yeah, Eastern times, and then it's so Jeff's always on Tuesdays, and I'm on Thursdays, and so we're gonna go into Tuesday, and we're gonna see your stream. And I loved your thumbnail last week, by the way.
Did you?
Did you really? I absolutely loved that thumbnail. Like,
really?
Yeah, I could tell. You get such a kick out of making these thumbnails.
I do. And I always send them to you because I'm like, I really like your kickback because I know you'll give me some good response. And you're like, I said, do you like it? And you're like, I do. And then you're like, I do, you crazy man, or something.
That's
like
exactly what I said to you because I just think how much time does it take him to do this? But you said it doesn't take a lot of time, but you could tell there's thought.
About 10 minutes.
There's definitely thought in it, And so I really like that.
Here's the advantage. I'm going, what I want to do is I'm going to take that. That's going to be the template. I might push and pull colors, but I don't want to keep changing my live thumbnails. So, Aaron, good night, man. It was really good to see you
Night,
as
Aaron.
always.
Take care,
Thank you for
man.
the nice words. And so I kind of wanted to create something, and I'm glad you liked it because I used photos of us that had us in motion and kind of laughing because
Yeah.
that's who we are. I wanted to create energy, and that created more energy than us standing or whatever. And I'm going to change that out every so often, but the live's going to be the same, with maybe the text different, maybe the color difference. And so, yeah, so, I'm going to go through that. Oh, you don't have to apologize. But you know what? That's great because I'll shoot, if I haven't subbed you, I'll definitely shoot you back because I do want to check out those lives where you're talking about those camera shots. He's getting close on stuff. I do want to check all that stuff
Yeah,
out.
I think every
for
stream is
myself.
interesting. I always get a kick out of just
Everything,
watching.
every stream has something to
Yep.
offer, whether it's entertainment or the way they're using their equipment or the way they're dealing with their community and chat. Or just
Exactly.
delivering their product. There's so much going on in every one of those, and plus, I just want to support people who've stepped in here, and I'm trying to do more and more as time's letting me now. But thank you, John, on that. I've got another one coming out that's similar to it. So
Yeah, I know
you
a lot
like
of
it.
times,
I'm
like I
scared-
just say, "You're a crazy man" or something, and I never get
I
back
felt
to.
it. I knew what you meant.
I never get back
I
to
knew what you
telling
meant.
you like I'm impressed, but it's just like, yeah, I was like, wow, it's so cool how I saw you caught the video in motion. It looks like a separate picture because you put the whole word live, and I was like, wow, this is really good. I
I
like.
was using masking. I was doing the whole thing.
Yep.
But one thing I was gonna tell you is I did it in Photoshop over all my old thumbnails, so I was able to use all those processes. So it's getting quicker and quicker. So I'm hoping all that translates into everything down the road. But yeah,
can't
I had a lot
wait
of fun.
to-
And that's going to be our thumbnail. Our
I can't wait
J&J
till
lives.
6 months go by, and then you'll be able to teach me all these things that I don't know anymore.
I can't wait, man. I want to. We'll get in the dead of winter. We'll get Notion. We'll do thumbnails and branding. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Maybe I'll come to your house. We'll spend a week together.
No, but
You didn't even hesitate.
get the
What a
RV.
jerk.
Maybe we'll get the RV.
You get the
at that-
RV. I'm living out in the RV like Christmas vacation, and he rents one that's like completely 40 years old and stuff. That would be awesome.
Oh God, right, Darren. Thank you. Just to know.
Thank you, Darren.
We gotta
Seriously.
go. It's getting late. Thanks everybody for stopping in. I really appreciate all the good conversation that everybody brings. I want to thank Jeff for being my co-host and always trying to, keep me cool sometimes when I get a little stressed out. I appreciate that. And all you people who come in and bring great conversations. So thanks a lot, guys. And we'll see you next week. Don't forget JA's channel on Tuesday at 9 p.m. We'll see you soon. Have a great night, guys.